pretty comparable to what would have fallen here at McDonald Reserve. But we're underway. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Here's Jason Doherty on Carrick Footy.
So Nick Knott for St Mary's up against Luke Davis, the South Barwon, who gets it down. Madigan to track it, doesn't take it with him though. The first kick of the afternoon is to the big ruckman for St Mary's. Knott goes towards Higgins, who gets it away by hand, and Sam James gets the ball towards centre wing for South Barwon. Now McMahon Damien goes from centre wing for St Mary's. Long kick inside 50 over the back. Dowling, he had Orgerinas around the corner as well. His right foot kick is very high. It's coming back and just filters through for one behind. So a quick start for the visitors. Orgerinas gets the first score of the afternoon, one behind to St Mary's.
Goff and Dowling confirmed matchup.
White with the kick-in duties for South Barwon, as he had for much of last week, the Croydon product. He goes very, very wide, looking out there for O'Dwyer, who can't mark in a contest against Lang. Maishman cleans up for St Mary's, taken in a very good tackle, and the free kick to Sexton, who's into the side this afternoon. Great to see him back from that broken toe. Kick on the skid, taken by Caldo. Caldo showed good hands to try and get a handball up to Carmody, but he missed the target, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in at right half forward. Actually, might be a free kick.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be a free kick for out in the full, so it's going to go to Jackson Carmody. Kick 7 in the opening round win over Grovedale. A bit quieter since. Kick inside, forward 50. Caldo stretches but couldn't complete the mark. Front of the pack, Madigan is there. It's knocked away from him. Blood for St Mary's. Gets a handball away to Rayner. Rayner just tried to flick it off to a teammate, and they'll look to go forward. It's going to be a free mark, though, paid to Higgins. Higgins kick into the middle is okay for Mulroney, and he's got it on the cricket wicket area.
He chips the ball across towards Duray. Can he pick it? In fact, it's Davis. He picked it up, but the handball was chopped off. Good tackle. Nick Knott in there. Holds it up. The umpire's going to have to ping him now because he gave him an opportunity to get rid of it. And it's going to be a free kick to Knott. He gives it away by hand straight away, and they get it around towards Travaglini, who goes up towards half forward. Off the side of the pack. Dowling was there as well for St Mary's. Still in dispute at half forward. Swans have got the numbers. They try and feign a couple of handballs, go close to the boundary line. Can't keep it in. And across there was Goff and also Davis, and they'll see it out of bounds for a throw in.
Not a bad crowd here at McDonald Reserve to get things underway. Wombat Gully Plant Farm. Any matchups you picked up that we should be keeping an eye on?
Sexton and Keast on a wing's an interesting one. That'll be a good battle all day.
Boundary throw in. The roving work at the front was Benson. Great handball release. Kick forward comes from Matty Keys. Keys puts a kick into space. Rolling ball into the left forward pocket. It's going to roll away from the players, including Orgerinos and O'Dwyer, and out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Left forward pocket. Port Phillip Ferries time clock. 2.5 minutes ticked over. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel.
Stoppages, looks like Madigan and Benson going head-to-head at stoppages.
Fall back into play. Wombat Gully Plant Farm. Tapped down by Davis to the front of the pack. Ball at the boundary line. Trying to track it and keep it alive was Dowling. He's going to run onto the footy here, but he'll have Mulroney in his way. And Mulroney picked up the footy. He was slung in the tackle. Then taken down to ground was Goff in a good tackle by McMahon. And that McMahon is Harry. There's plenty of them. There's the twins. They're not out there this afternoon, but then the brothers Harry and Damien are out there. Tapped down by Davis, roving by White for South Barwon. Out of the pack, a good handball. James gave it off to Davis. He just bangs it on the boot to half-back.
He does. He goes towards Bosley, but worked under the ball by Jasker on centre wing. They've got the numbers too, and they get the kick around the corner. That came from Ling. Goes towards half-forward, but the Swans across half-back doing nicely. They just settle the play down. White's got it. And called to play on now was going to come towards the commentary box side at half-back. He does, and Noble does nicely with the body. Gets it away by hand to Lee after he took the mark and go towards centre wing. Chirkwin gets back there to start with, though, for St Mary's, and just settles the play down. It's between two half-forward flanks at the moment, the two sides. He goes short. Harrison Ling takes it at centre half-back. He chips the ball, just 15. In fact, it was 13 and a half, so McMahon's called to play on, goes towards centre wing. Walters can't pick it up. He gives it away. The handball came quickly from Sherman around the corner with the kick. Walters followed up. I think that was out of bounds. The umpire was right there. He said play on. Davis got back. He'd help out the defence. Higgins wrapped up. And it's held to him. We'll have a ball up, half forward. St Mary's into attack, Clairvaux into the ground.
St Mary's 1, South Barwon yet to score. Harvey Norman, K-Rock scoreboard. First quarter gone 4.5 minutes. Quick snap out of the pack by Blood. The skipper for St Mary's is a high ball that'll float to the boundary line. Defensive fist came from Goff to knock it out of bounds. And we'll get a boundary thrown right forward pocket. Not far from the burger van that is highly rated here at South Barwon, and some of their fare might be finding their way into the K-Rock box.
We'll be the judge of that, King.
At half-time. Well, there's a bit of a burger off at the moment. There was much discussion in local media about the Bell Park burger. Boundary throwing Dowling at pace, back of the pack, takes the footy, tries to get a snap away, taken in a tackle by Goff, was a good one. Handball release is okay to Walters. Walters snaps around the corner, and he has put that through for a minor score. So they double their score, and their lead is now 2 points. St Mary's is out behind, go through from Jack Walters, and it's 2 behind St Mary's. South Barwon yet to score opening quarter thanks to Harvey Norman.
So White, footy again at full back for South Barwon, plays on, goes the outer side. It's a terrible kick off the boot in front of the scoreboard. James got the handball out to Higgins. He gets it further afield. Duray around the corner with the kick is okay. Carmody on a long lead from half forward, takes it centre wing, plays on quickly now. Kick around towards Bosley. Was it too wide? I think it was. Bosley nearly ran into the fence. It was that wide. And the free kick, Jasker will give it back to McMahon. It gives it back by a short little kick. Travaglini, he's going to go towards... that's Chalcraft who gets back there and helps out. So they're going right across the ground to Connors in the opposite back pocket. The northern end of the ground just holds the play up. South Barwon have moved across pretty well defensively. Goes up the line, not off his hands at the back. Handball came, chain of handballs. White going to set up a teammate. Punched away. That was Simmons who was over the top of it as well. Still at half forward for the Swans. Benson in the middle, on hands and knees. Got a push in the back. The umpire said no. Give it to me. We'll have a ball up. 2 behinds. The visitors, South Barwon yet to score. We played 6.5 in this first term on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Travaglini's got the job on the K-Rock Roadrunner, Blake Scott.
Free kick from the ruck contest for a push. It was too high. It's going to come back to Davis against Knott. Nick Knott sort of just shakes his head. Can't really do much more than that these days. Davis sets it up, looking for the leader. Bosley. Oh, wonderful fist from Jasker. Knocked it away 20 metres into the path of Rayner at defensive 50, and then a short kick to Sherman. Sherman goes short to Benson. Has to take it on the half volley. Does so successfully. Neat little kick along the line is okay. And the mark is taken by Pritchard. Good to see him back after shoulder issues last year. That's a wonderfully weighted kick onto the chest of Walters. Walters sees something he likes. A pinpoint pass to Rayner. Rayner can kick towards half forward for St Mary's. Kick on the bounce as well. Trapped Dowling. Swings onto his left boot. A piercing ball on the bounce that evades a teammate, but is taken away by Duray. Then the kick comes out of defensive 50. Might have been Simmons. Bouncing ball though. Benson cleans up. Short kick is good. Chalcraft towards left half forward. What's he got out wide? He's got a marking target in Travaglini. He's just outside 50, so he'll go short towards the scoreboard. And Sherman, who's marked, he's about 70 from home. He swings onto his right boot to a leading target. Can't find it in Conway, and a chance to clear for James, and he gets it out wide, and Carmody is marked at right half.
Takes the sliding mark, gives it away by hand. Duray runs through centre. Half-back flank, in fact, goes towards Bosley. 2 wide again, and Jasker right next to him. It's out of bounds for a throw-in between wing and half-forward on the outer side.
Hitting the ball a lot better, St Mary's at the moment by foot, whereas South Barwon coming out of their back half look a bit rushed and a little bit hurried with their kicking.
Gold Coast 2 straight 12, Collingwood 117. Leopold Sporties around the grounds at the MCG.
So Davis to do the ruck work against Knott. Thrown in now. Short throw in, Knott gets it to the front. Madigan held off the football. The umpire said no, play on. Benson gets the handball away, falls around the corner. Now the ball comes across to Case to half back. Kick inside, slipped right in the muddy area there was Pritchard, couldn't take it, so the Swans go out wide towards centre wing. Duray over the top of it to get one high. The umpire said no, the ball's out of bounds and we'll have a boundary throw in. So 2 behind St Mary. South Barwon are yet to score, and we've played 9 minutes first term. That's on the Harvey Norman K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
Port Phillip Ferries time clock. There's no better way to travel as we tick towards 9 minutes gone. It's been a real arm wrestle early. Davis and Knott from position 1, the tap down. Blood did the roving, had a fumble, time to recover, gave a handball up to Sherman. Sherman will kick for St Mary's towards left half forward, but coming off his man, judging it best and taking the mark. It was taken by Driver. Driver with it, right back pocket. Spins the ball in his hand and then kicks along the line, outer wing. Lee, a big fly, couldn't complete the mark. Sherman off the hands of the pack, gave a handball away. Chance now here for the Saints through Blood to kick inside forward 50. Went looking for Lang. He couldn't mark against Driver. Driver happy to see it out of bounds. Boundary thrown left half forward. Matt Kershaw in the expert's chair. It's a real between the arcs game.
Is it too early to go next goal wins?
Yeah.
It really is, isn't it? Both defensive halves are playing extremely well, but they just can't get it into their forward 50 with any efficiency.
If South Barwon and St Mary's was given as a BBC World Service score, it'd be St Mary's 2, South Barwon 0. From the boundary throw-in, Simmons front of the pack does the roving. A handball back to the voice of Higgins. Higgins jams it on the boot towards half-back, but the kick not great. Travellini has got across and taken the mark, and will look forward to send St Mary's back into attack.
He does so now. Goes long, inside 50. Big pack there. Was that a mark? I think it's Goff who says, yes, it is. I've taken it. Second grab. And has taken the last line defence for the Swans. So he's going to go short into the back pocket. Driver has it. For Josh Conway to give him the best player on the ground this afternoon, Jack Driver. He's going to go with the right foot kick out towards half back. Wasn't the best kick off the boot, but found a teammate. And they go now through James, who goes to the right foot kick long. Jasker from 3 back. Chalcraft's there as well, and he takes the mark. So across half back again they go. Travellini wants to switch the ball. Dangerous. 2-on-1 South Barwon. They do nicely. Big thump away there. Came from Sexton. Goff at the back and half back. Great pick up too. Handballed it. Close to the boundary line. They'll be happy to see it over the Swans. And we'll have a boundary throw in centre wing. St Mary's 2 behind. South Barwon yet to score.
Travellini had an easier option there. He had Rayner just in front of him 20 metres away, and he decided to kick to a 1-on-2.
Boundary throw-in, not Davis. Davis front position on the tap down, roving by Sherman. Handball released out the back to Rayner. Rayner's kick will flirt with the boundary line. It goes over the head of Maishman and bounces just inside the field of play, and we will get a boundary throw-in. 2-0, St Mary's lead South Barwon. No, this is not a game of soccer that's broken out here at McDonald Reserve. Slightly forward of the wing, boundary throw-in. Not from behind, winning the tap down. Front of the pack trying to barge his way through. Might have been Sexton. He's going nowhere. In fact, it was Madigan. And we will get a ball up. So plenty of stoppages early. Not Davis, not winning the tap down this time to Maishman. Maishman under pressure from Madigan, got a kick away, bouncing ball towards right half forward. It will roll into the path of Dowling, who loses it in the tackle. That's cleaned up. Might have been White. It's a neat little kick too. Finds a target on the way out. Davis has pulled the kick badly onto the chest of Big Conway, and Conway's got it at right half back for St Mary's.
So we go back to McMahon. He elects to go down the line, close to the boundary line. Maishman goes back, can't take the ball with him. The Swans have got the numbers in front. Simmons was on hands and knees, chopped off though by Benson. A little bit of candy, a blind turn if you don't mind. Inside with a great little handball and kick Sherman, and a lead out, and that was great play from the Matheson medalist, and showing all his wares there.
Jeez.
Hey, that was all right, wasn't it?
He sold 2 bits of candy,
like that was.
Blind turn, 360.
And they got the ball in the end to Tom Lang on the short lead in, and all he had to do was take the mark. It was set up for him perfectly. Shooting for goal from 45 out, slide angle. He runs to the right a little bit, right foot kick. Breeze is going to take it to the left-hand side and through for 1 behind.
Deserved more that play. That's exactly what we were looking for in this game of football at the minute.
So Lang puts it behind on the board. St Mary's 3 behind. South Barwon yet to score. Harvey Norman K-Rock first quarter scoreboard. We played 13.5 on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel around the grounds for Leopold Sporties. Can tell you Geelong 43 lead Williamstown 34 in the VFL clash. 3 goals to Lockie Waddell. Of course, a line to Newtown and 2 to AFL listed Shannon Neal. It's Andy Higgins who's got the kick-in duties at the Clairvaux end for South Barwon, and he goes short into the left-back pocket to O'Neill. Kelly O'Neill. He steps around the man on the mark. He actually might be 50, mightn't it? It is 50 against Tommy Lang. And that just eases the pressure slightly for South Barwon. That's a good result as O'Neill, you just wait to get the footy back from Siddle. And he now fires a handball to Siddle, who's standing all alone, and he turns and kicks and sees something he likes. But the kick didn't do any favours there for Lockie Noble. And the ball's hit the deck, and it's going to end up in the hands of St Mary's. Damien McMahon back to Travellini. Travellini a kick. It's a pinpoint one to Ling, who went to ground, then quickly bounced back up to his feet.
About 10 possessions, I reckon, Travellini.
Don't know how the Lings are doing it today. His parents, Ron and Gab, because as he turns it over into the waiting arms of Davis. Of course, Matty playing VFL right now, the twin brother. Davis. He can go back to O'Neill if he likes. Instead, he sees something he likes. It's going to have to be pinpoint to the middle of the ground. It's got too much on it for Hogan. It's going to open up the door for Dowling. He's got it true centre wing. Just steadies and props and then kicks onto the chest of Sherman. Gives a handball to Damien McMahon. Orgarinos ran into trouble. James wrapped him up and won himself a free kick for holding the footy. Wasn't a great handball. It sold Orgarinos down the river. And James says, look, let's just settle things down here.
He goes short to Siddle. Still in the middle of the ground, handballs it. It's okay. Duray through the middle. Goes to the right foot, kick long. Lee goes up and in front. Conway off hands. Front and centre was okay. Kick around the corner. Left foot kick too. And through only for one behind. The breeze going that way, and that came from Jackson Carmody. So first score on the board for the Swans. They are one behind. St Mary's three behinds, and that is the Harvey Norman K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
St Mary's 3, South Barwon 1. Travellini to bring the ball back into play, trots off into the right back pocket, then pulls it to the corridor, but he's pulled it straight into the waiting arms of O'Dwyer at the top of the arc. Maybe just left of centre, but O'Dwyer, with the breeze, might fancy himself here. He now takes off and kicks to the top of the square for Bosley. Went through the hands of Sherg, went out the back, cleaned up by Travellini. Handball across the face of goal, Shellcraft. Handball off to Keast. Keast in the right back pocket. Neat little kick, but it missed Orgarinos. Bouncing ball, attacked nicely there. And a handball away from O'Dwyer towards Sexton, although Sexton had a fit of the fumbles. Wasn't a great handball. It's going to be a free kick push in the back. And it's going to go to Harry McMahon at right half-back.
Umpire cleaned up by Jack Blood.
Yeah, he was running for the next contest.
Yep.
So McMahon goes back. Shawcraft across the ground. He's okay. Dame McMahon takes it. Plays on quickly. He chips the ball to centre half-back. Taking the mark is Ling. Still on defensive 50. Called to play on now, so he does. Comes back towards half-back. Keast, got a bit of space. He's going to need it too because it wasn't a great kick. He chips the ball over the top and kicks it to his dad, who is in the coach's box, unfortunately for him. So out of bounds on the full. The Swans play on quickly. Siddle gets it. Right foot kick inside 50. Sets a task at Bosley. Jasker behind. Kept his head over the ball. Did nicely. Then dropped it. Bosley got it back. Left foot kick to an open goal square. Which way is it going to bounce? Across the face of goal and hits the behind post. And we'll have a boundary throw in at right forward pocket. Swans into attack at the northern end.
This is not a great game of football, Church.
No, it's not, Tom. It is. It's a hard watch at the minute. I'll tell you what, though. St Mary's foot skills are elite, but they just can't get it past their forward 50.
Grabbed out of the ruck by Lee. Handball back to James. Ran into a blood tackle. Got a handball away near the cricket nets. Rolling ball towards the boundary line and out of bounds. Hope you're enjoying the call through KROC 955 and kroc.com.au and the AFL Barwon Facebook live stream. You can jump on the KFC Twitter at any time at KROC Football. We always run the poll. We'll have a look at what the poll said in terms of the result. It was 52%, 48%. Josh Conway had put numerous votes in via his Twitter account for South Barwon. Bounced off the footy was Maishman. And to go out of bounds, umpire said play on O'Dwyer. Quick kick inside forward 50. Caldo, his target. Good fist away from behind. Came from McMullen. Now clearing kick for St Mary's towards half-back, but back with the flight. White, like the look of him. He marks just forward of the wing and he'll look to come back inside and open up the broadcast side of the ground. The kick is okay for Sexton. Had a fumble, confronted by Key, steps past him, and then sends it to centre half forward.
Goes there long. Caldo from behind. In front, no mark taken. Ball spills free. Dillon is there for South Barwon. Caldo through the middle of the pack as well. McMullen stands over the top of it. Big pack at 50. The umpire's just letting it go. Was that a trip? No, the umpire said play on. Now he's going to come in and ball it up, and there is players strewn everywhere.
7 of them. Chase.
There is Nick Knott, Harry Benson. They get up. Mulroney was there as well. So umpire throws the ball up at 50. Lee goes up against Knott. Ball spills free to the side. Benson's handball towards Pritchard. Oh, kick up the chimney. Case to take the mark at half-back. Doesn't. Got some support though. Thought about the handball, then gives it outside. They go around the corner, Blood towards centre wing. It's a great kick. Conway on a lead from half forward, took it on centre wing. Nobody standing the mark now, there is. So he can play on. Oh, Ruckman's kick to half forward and turned it over again, as Kirsch was saying. South Barwon across half back, doing nicely. And Goff takes a kick, short little kick as well. And it's called play on. The umpire, ball back. towards O'Neill. Handball. They're mucking around with it at half-back. The Swans, they've turned it over now. They need to work hard. Ball comes back. They've got the numbers, though. Goff tried to run at it. Ball back towards centre wing. The St Mary's boys, they just work them out. Benson again with a little bit of candy. Right foot kick inside 50 towards the pocket over the back. McMahon can't keep it in, and we'll have a boundary throw in. St Mary's deep into attack.
This is horrendous.
You've got a team that's really elite by foot getting it to their forward 50, and then obviously the defensive half of South Barwon working really well. But on the rebound, South Barwon's exits are under pressure. They're transferring pressure. It's really ugly rebounding footy, but they're managing to withhold the bombardment coming in there.
Just waiting to get some of the crowd off the ground who have encroached over the fence. Umpires wanting them back over. And we'll get a boundary throw in right beside the right hand behind post. Clairvaux end of the ground, or southern end, or 10-pin bowling lane end of the ground here at McDonald Reserve. Grabbed out of the ruck by Conway. Handball release. Rayner with a quick left foot snap. Hit the belly of the ball. It floats across the face of goal. And the mark taken in the right back pocket. Out there might be by wide, or is it Driver? It's Driver with it. Right back pocket. We'll get down to Josh Conway shortly just to get a bit of a sense of how the benches are feeling watching this unfold as we kick towards half back, and leading up and taking a nice mark is Duray to open up the play. Handball off, kick forward, Semmons towards half forward. It's going to get out the back. Carmody worked his opponent under the footy and he's found it out the back. He'll have a bounce inside 50. It barely came back to him. Now he's got a steady shoot on goal. It won't have the carry. It holds up almost in the breeze. Keith's back with the flight drop, what he should have taken. Now he's got trouble. Ball knocked away from him. Well played by Blake Scott, the speedster, but he was held up. Tried to get a handball back to Dylan. Dylan a handball up. Quick snap out of the pack. Semmons has kicked the goal. It's taken 21 minutes and 5 seconds, but we finally have the first goal of the afternoon on the K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard, and it belongs to Daniel Semmons, who kicks his first goal as a Swan. 1-1-7 South Barwon, St Mary's 3 behinds, 21 minutes gone in this opening term of K-Rock football. Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Kirsch, finally something.
Again, though, we talked about it throughout the last 21 minutes and 5 seconds, that South Barwon's back half have stood up really well, and Driver again with that deep mark, and then their ball movement was a lot better coming out of their back half. They actually hit targets all along and got them out the back. I was a bit worried about that kick coming in forward, and Keith dropped the mark, which should never have happened, so he'd be very disappointed with that.
Davis got it down to James, goes towards Lee, runs through his legs. St Mary's boys get back there in numbers. Back towards Chalcraft, who takes the mark inside defensive 50. He's got Keast in the back pocket. He takes the mark. Tries to chip the ball short. It's okay. They line up, take a ticket. Benson was going to take it. He left in the end for Orgarinas. So he's going to play on from defensive 50 and go towards centre wing. Swans Davis worked the body well. Now Dowling just stood up. Need to give the ball to Connors. He got wrapped up without the football. Umpire says play on, and then it's out of bounds for a throw in centre wing.
Collingwood 6-2 have absolutely blown Gold Coast out of the water 2 straight. So boundary throw in just slightly forward of the wing in front of the pavilion here at McDonald Reserve. Plenty of cloud cover, but we're not expecting any rain. Ball back into play from behind, not one. The tap down to Orgarinos. Orgarinos, a quick handball off to Blood. Blood tucks it under the arm, runs away, sends it long, looking for Conway. Kick too much on it. It'll roll back towards the goal line and get cleaned up. Handball out wide. Chance here for Hogan. Shrugs a tackle. Handball back to a teammate to support. Might have been Driver. Left foot kick partially smothered. Will roll towards the boundary line. White near that boundary line and seeing it out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Right in front of the burger van. Now what I've got on the mind at half-time, it's a South Barwon burger. They want to prove they've got the best in the region. Get a boundary throw in. We've gone 23 and a half minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Oh, that's surely a free kick against Davis. I'm not for a push-up. I didn't see it that way. Clearing kick out of the pack came from Mulroney towards centre-half back. One-on-one contest. It's going to roll towards Scott, and he'll be out in the way. Here he goes.
And take time power. Blake Scott goes. Look at him. He goes. Handballs up. He does nicely. Gets it outboard. Give it back, says Kirsch. No, they deliver it beautifully to Ollie Lee, who takes the mark and 50. Oh, and Bose is not happy. Andrew Bosley comes in on Josh Jasker. And 50 as well, so Ollie Lee's going to put the second on the board for the Swans. And what about Blake Scott for Team Tyre Power?
God, did we need something in this game, Jace?
We needed
Blake Scott, the roadrunner.
And they got the ball up to him. And Carmody was involved as well. We got the handball from Scott, and he got it to Lee, who then took the mark in front of Jasker and then put his first on the board, the second for South Barwon. So they go 2-1-13. They lead St Mary's 3 behinds. Harvey Norman, K-Rock first quarter scoreboard. Here's Matt Kershaw.
Well, do you know what? It's a way to break the game open, isn't it? Get it into the hands of your runners. Let them just use their elite speed, and they're not going to catch him, ever going to catch him.
Thank God they've woken us up.
Oh, no. For all you sitting in your car around the ground.
Wake up!
Wake up, and we've seen something that has set this game alight. But you know what? I think the game will open up. It's just a real arm wrestle at the minute, and we needed something like that, that's for sure.
It's just been a dour affair.
It has.
Until time on started, and then a nice goal from Semmons, and then Blake Scott lighting the match up. Not back in the middle against Davis. Davis, a wonderful tap to Madigan, who bursts away and then has a cheeky little bounce on the edge of the cricket wicket area. Kicks towards left half forward. Bouncing ball, Caldo. Half volley takes it. Handball under pressure from McMullen. Finds Carmody. Fit of the fumbles. Time to recover. It's going to be a free kick, though. I hear a whistle, and it's too high. The free kick going to Jackson Carmody. Man on the mark, 48 from goal. You want your shots from goal within about 35 metres today, I suspect, with the way the breeze is playing havoc, Kirsch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Carmody just sets it up into the right forward pocket near the cricket nets, looking for Lee. Big spoiled Jasker, front of the pack. Noble for South Barwon, couldn't take it. McMahon there, Damien for St Mary's. It's off hands and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
That's a good point you make, King. You don't want to be kicking them from that pocket either, where the cricket nets are. Like, that kick is probably just a wasted kick in the end.
But a boundary throw-in right in front of the Josh Conway cricket nets here at McDonald Reserve. Lee worked not off the footy, but Benson did the roving left foot kick towards half back to a pack of players. It's going to roll through a few and end up with James. James is in the middle of the ground for South Barwon, sending it along for Caldo. Front position, took a grab. Leading up, McMullen just couldn't get close enough to get a fist on it. And the former Ocean Grove star, Matty Caldo, captain of the Swans, is going to have a shot at goal and a chance to extend this lead and give his team a handy little buffer at quarter time. It won't be a long quarter, you wouldn't have thought, based on what we've seen in terms of goals. Only the 2 so far for South Barwon's sake, hopefully a third. He kicks from 49 metres. He kicks through the footy, but he's pushed it badly to the right and out of bounds on the full. And the free kick in the left back pocket will be in the hands of Joey Maishman.
So, Maishman with the footy.
In fact, it's Sherwood. Apologies.
Yeah. So, Darcy will go with the right foot kick. Oh, it's a high kick too. Up the chimney towards half back. Big there, McMullen. Off hands. Davis is there as well. Harry McMahon got it back to the brother. Damien goes around the corner, close to the boundary line. Higgins kept it in with an underground handball. And then Harry McMahon comes in with a good little tackle and also took the ball out of bounds. So we'll have a throw-in. Centre wing on the outer side. Big crowd here today too at South Barwon at McDonald Reserve. Enjoying the coverage this afternoon on K-Rock Football as well. Ball comes back in. Pack develops. Madigan, umpire says high. So Mulroney put a tackle on Benson, and he'll take the free kick on centre wing.
Gives a handball off to his skipper in blood, just back of the wing. He'll send a kick long towards centre half forward to a one-on-one. Good use of the body by Lang. Took a nice mark against Driver. From behind had the sit and took the grab. Gee, it's rare that you've seen St Mary's in recent times held goalless in a quarter. Is that going to happen this afternoon? Lang setting himself if he's going to have a shot. So where should he be aiming here, Kirsch, with the wind really working into the wind?
Yeah, he's going to have to be kicked miss to the right goal post, but probably, the middle of the out-of-bounds post and the point post onto the right-hand side and fade it left.
Lang,
exactly where he's kicked it.
They started it right, brought it back beautifully. Oh, great call, Kirsch. That's a wonderful finish from Lang. It was a driving kick. He kept it low, and he kicks a Lammy's Tavern goal of the afternoon contender, and St Mary's pull back to within 4. They're 1-3-9, South Barwon a 2-1-13, and that's a quality finish from Tom Lang.
He's a quality footballer. And just around the stoppages, I've just been noticing, particularly in that last dispute there, that they're not really getting body on body around the stoppages and allowing St Mary's to get off at the stoppages, and they're actually running out of stoppages in numbers. So I reckon the South Barwon midfield, apart from Madigan, who's the only one really giving him some drive out of there, they've really got to tighten up a little bit.
Benson's getting very dangerous.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? But Madigan's dangerous on the other hand too. But they've got so many numbers in there, and I think the others have got to help Madigan out a bit.
Not gets it down, nearly does his own roving work. Now the ball comes out. Mulroney, big handball towards half forward. They run onto it. Noble around the corner towards Caldo. Chalcraft comes in to help out for St Mary's. His handball over the top to Ling. Missed the target, needs some support. Got some. McMahon around the corner. Damien. Now Dure got it away by hand. Short little kick. Siddle, very good. Oh, Caldo with the one hand Hamlet hanger, if you don't mind. He just stuck the mid up and went, thank you very much on the siren.
I'm just going to put the left hand in the pocket, Jace, he said.
Matty Caldo with a big... he was going up for a big tomahawk dunk in the NBA, I think, the way he went up like that, Matt Caldo. But he needs to finish off the great mark with a goal on the siren. South Barwon 2-1-13. This to give them their third in the first term. He comes in from 25 out directly in front. He puts it in the skipper and does nicely. So South Barwon finish 3-1-19. They lead St Mary's 1-3-9 at quarter time.
It's a great atmosphere, as Anzac Day was, of course, at St Joey's on the weekend. On Anzac Day. Second quarter, thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7. Here's Jace Doherty.
So Luca Davis is going to go up against Nick Knott in the ruck, and Davis gets it down to Mulroney, who runs through the middle for South Barwon, goes towards half forward, punched away at the front, came back quickly towards Churgwin, who thought about the kick and then probably should have in the end because the handball was terrible to Sexton. He dropped the football in the tackle though. So the St Mary's boys will take the free kick at half back. I think it's Jack Blood who's holding an arm too, I think, just as he went in that tackle against Sexton. So he'll take the free kick and play on, go long. There's the long kick to half forward, big there. Goff goes up, punched away. Front and centre might sit for Mulroney. He can go with a right foot kick to an open space at half forward. There'll be a foot race across there. Defence comes out, St Mary's, they get there first. And Jasker against Bosley. Can he worry him out of it? Jasker does nice. He's got a couple against him. He's wrapped up by Bosley, loses the football. Push, sling tackle, said the umpire. And Josh Jasker will take the free kick.
Yeah, I just don't like the ones where the players aren't protected when they're brought to ground, and that's what the umpire saw there. He went short to McMahon with a handball, and then McMahon drove a kick backwards to Travaglini, who's got it at right half back. So a long way from home. They trail by 10, the Saints, in this second quarter. Fabco Cafe 24/7, a high ball. Lang coming up, sliding in low. Did he claim the mark? No, he has to knock it away at ground level, only as far as Davis, who gave a handball to James. James kicks on his left boot for South Barwon towards half forward. And that's a good mark taken there by Dillon, who frees his hands, gives it off to Madigan. Madigan driving kick towards the left forward pocket, looking for Lee. Knocked away by McMullen of St Mary's, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Just below the scoreboard, the Fratco Cafe 24/7 shows South Barwon 19, leading St Mary's 9, and we've gone nearly 2 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this second quarter of K-Rock football.
So Lee's going to do the ruck work deep forward for the Swans, up against Knott. Neither really can get it. It's a short boundary throw-in, in fact. Mashman, he's wrapped up by Madigan, tried to get rid of it. That's holding the ball.
It was a great tackle.
It was a great
it was. Absolutely brilliant tackle.
Ping the arm, and Mashman couldn't get rid of it. So Dahl Madigan's going to take the free kick in front of the scoreboard, in between half forward and the forward pocket at the Clairvaux end of the ground.
Very nice kick of the football, Doyle Madigan. This is not beyond him.
Hirsch curse on him now.
I have, sorry.
Madigan comes in, right foot kick, keeps it low like Lang did in the first term, and through for one behind to the far side. First score of the second term, and it's South Barwon 3-2-20. They lead St Mary's 1-3-9. Abco Cafe 24/7 K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
If Doyle Madigan and Mitch Chafer were having a
hair off,
a dready off, who wins?
Well, geez,
Doyle's pretty good.
Yeah, Doyle's is good. His old man doesn't have a whisker of hair on his head.
Ling goes very, very wide with his kick. Did Maishman get a hand on that to knock it out of bounds? Thankfully he did, and it's a boundary throw, and it would have been out on the full. And they get out of trouble for the moment, St Mary's, but they find themselves trailing by 11 against a confident South Barwon, not winning the tap this time. James, the roving for South Barwon, walks straight into a tackle. Should say not for St Mary's. And at left half forward, outer side, we will get a ball up. He tosses it into the air. Davis and Knott again. Davis maybe from behind this time, jammed on the boot by Blood, the St Mary's skipper, and he was able to get it onto the chest of Rayner in the long sleeves. Just back of the wing, Keaton Rayner, former Geelong Falcon, son of Luke, Driving kick that Maishman stretches for but can't mark. Here's Higgins maybe getting a little nudge in the back. Umpire said play on handball up from Lang. Finds his skipper. Blood tucks it under the arm. Has a bounce. Steadies outside of the right boot. Open goal square. Rolling ball. Hogan got back to rush it through for a behind. And the score for St Mary's margin is again 10. And they're quickly away with it into the right back pocket to Sexton. It's 20 playing 10 on the second quarter. Epco Cafe 24/7 scoreboard, Jace.
Oh, across the other side of the ground too. The kick wasn't great, but O'Dwyer made it okay. Mulroney tried to get around a couple. Left-hand handball to Higgins at half-back. Wheeled and go quickly. Went and wheeled towards Madigan, who took the mark. And they're running now, the Swans. They go towards half-forward. Long lead. Bosley can take it on the chest. Great kick from Madigan, as Kirsch said. And he's going to wheel and go at left half-forward and play on quickly. So the St Mary's boys have to get back in defence. There's no mark taken off the front. Blood wants a clearing kick back towards half-forward, half-back, and they're out of trouble for now, St Mary's. And Knott stood his ground and has taken the mark at centre half-back for St Mary's. Called to play on now. Comes towards centre wing. It's a terrible kick off the boot, Sexton. And for St Mary's, probably good response in the end because it's out of bounds for a throw-in. St Mary's coming out of defence there. Not a great kick from the ruckman. He's apologised and he'll do the work against Luke Davis.
When did they creep into the game when they were allowed to kick?
That's right. Handball, always.
Come on.
And the distance has got to be about 3 metres.
If they are, that's right.
Davis and Knott. Davis may be winning the tap down this time. Here's James jamming it on the boot, coming out but not marking Caldo. Taken away by McMullen off his hands. Did well, McMullen. And then sent a kick very, very, very wide. But White might be first there for South Barwon. But coming up the other way was Hogan. Hogan looped a handball to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer back to White. White kicking on his left. It's a skidding ball along the ground, but it'll get to Duray. Duray shares it with Hogan, who kept running. Steps inside Benson. Gave a handball off to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer outside of the right boot. Long ball. Oh, well done. Getting back, judging it best. Taking the mark was Keast, who goes across the face of his defensive goal, and they'll get out of trouble here, the Saints.
They will. They go along the line. Will the ball stay in? Yes, it will. Pritchard takes the mark right on the boundary line at centre wing, just back end of the centre wing. Plays on now, left foot kick, terrible. Luke Davis just stood in the hole, didn't have to move a whisker and gave it away to James by hand, who goes long with the kick again towards centre half forward. Bosley does nicely, held Jasker out, and all he had to do was manoeuvre the body. He took the mark on the chest. He just pushed Jasker to the side and took the grab, and will shoot for goal from 40 out directly in front.
Been much better ball movement by South Barwon, but the last 3 entries have not been to the advantage of a forward. The difference with that one was they moved the ball a little bit quicker going to their forward half of the ground and just got a one-on-one and put it to the advantage of Bosley, who took a terrific mark.
So Kirsch needs him to kick a goal because he's got him in the goal kicking, him and the Rock Dog. He comes in, keeps it low. Hasn't made the
Still in
distance. It was only 40 out. He tried to keep it low and he munged it a bit, and it's a free kick for over the shoulder, and it's going to be to Nick Connors in the last line of defence.
Haven't mentioned that he was the hero in the 2019 grand final yet.
Still getting free things at the club, I hear.
Right back pocket. Sends it past the scoreboard that shows a 2010 South Barwon St Mary's lead. Goes looking out there for Knott, but front of the pack, James for the Swans. He has it knocked away from his grasp, trying to barge his way through. Might have been Mulroney is at the bottom of that pack. Umpire said, you're going nowhere, give me the ball, and I will toss it into the air. Down to you, Josh Conway.
You might be able to see the runner just out with Tom Lang. Straight instruction from Glenn Keast, just ask him to demand the ball a bit more. The direct quote was, be the man, demand the footy for us, and just ask him to play a little bit higher, give Paddy Dowling a bit more space as the deep forward.
Thank you for that, Josh Conway down boundary side, keeping his ear out for everything going on within the vicinity of the coach's boxes. Grabbed out of the ruck by Davis. His handball release was straight to Blood of the Saints. He gets a handball up to Benson. He's taken beautifully by Madigan in a great tackle. He's going nowhere, Benson, the Matheson medalist, and we'll get another ball up, left half forward. Slade Bloodstock, quite on the blood rule front, but with Slade Bloodstock, you can invest in a racehorse with Chris Calthorpe. Check out sladebloodstock.com.au.
Free kick given to South Barwon in that.
Yeah, James got the free kick and gets the ball inside 50. McMullen at the back. His kick was smothered beautifully by his opposite number 31, Matt Caldo, and it's off hands and out of bounds for a throw in left forward pocket.
Really enjoying the Madigan-Benson work around stoppages and around the ground, and Madigan's got on top of him, I reckon, this quarter around the ground.
Collingwood 45, Gold Coast 31, thanks to Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue.
So Knott takes it from the ruck contest behind. Torpedo punts it straight into the scoreboard, and it's going to be a free kick to South Barwon, and Semmons is going to take it at left half forward.
Ruckman kicking again, Jace.
Goes left foot kick towards the top of the square. Big pack there off hands. And can they keep it in, the Swans? No, St Mary's? No, they can't. And it will be a boundary throw in again, left forward pocket, 3-2-20 South Barwon. St Mary's 1-4-10. And that is on the APCO Cafe 24/7 second quarter scoreboard. We played 9 minutes, Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
No better way to travel. Port Phillip Ferries, Caldo front of the pack for the Swans, won the tap down. Handball out of the pack from Ling to Blood. Blood tried to get it on the bounce up towards McMahon. Or was it Travellini? It was Travellini. He got it onto Benson. Benson ran out of room. Ball out of bounds. Boundary throw-in. Left forward pocket. Clearvo into the ground. 10 points South Barwon lead. So we've just had the 4 goals and we've played nearly 10 minutes in this second quarter of K-Rock football. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you. Caldo front position again, doing some nice ruck work. The tap down. He went looking for Madigan, but the opposite 25 in Connors of St Mary's took it away. And then he was ridden into the back by Madigan. Is that how the umpires saw it? He did. There'll be a free kick for Chipper Connors to give a handball off to Orgarinos. Orgarinos at right half back, driving a kick long. He's asking a lot there of Lang. Knocked away from behind by Hogan. Ball at the front of the pack, Benson. He's wrapped up. Umpire squats. And he's going to ping him for holding the footy.
Jeez.
That's tough on the Matheson medalist and the
What are
free
you meant
kick.
to do, though?
We'll go to Simmons as he ran straight into a tackle.
So Simmons with the resultant free kick, left foot towards half forward, off the back of the pack. And Churgwin, short little kick, dangerous. Oh, Blood, great blind turn and took the footy with him at half back. Played on quickly, goes to the open spaces. There is Lang. And he's come up the ground as instructed by Josh Conway and Glenn Keast. So he gives it away by hand. Blood runs past outside of the right foot towards Dowling. Got a couple against him. Off hands, Goff back there. And Rayner sees wide over the line. And it will be a boundary throw in inside 54, St Mary's northern end of the ground.
Golf is an athletic beast.
In what? He's got pace. He's got that ability to jump in the air. He's just a really impressive unit.
Ball back into play. Jeek shoving in the ruck contest. Lang against Davis. He nudged him under the footy. And it was just a little bit too obvious, and the umpire had to pay the free kick as Davis goes short. His kick is well weighted to Hogan. Hogan then just puts a handball over the top to Sexton, who shares it with Higgins. Higgins on his non-preferred left just pulls a kick towards half back, and it's a well-weighted kick. O'Dwyer, he turns onto his right boot and finds Madigan. Madigan point of the square, left half back. Looks to build now for South Barwon. Out of side of McDonald reserve. Kicks now towards half forward and finds Caldo. Caldo a handball in to Mulroney. Mulroney can kick inside forward 50. Would be a great finish to the passage of play. If he can hit a target, he can't. Travellini was good. He'll be on his non-preferred left, and it's a neat little kick too, and Pritchard has marked in the left back pocket.
So Pritchard goes back with the kick, short. Churgwin takes it. He goes shorter. Orgarinos. He goes along the boundary back to whence it came. So Ling gets it this time for St Mary's. Still at half back. He just chips the ball short. Walters came up to meet it from centre wing. He's still at half back. Called to play on now. Needs to get around Simmons. Oh, he hasn't got a left. He goes with it now. It's terrible off the boot. Goff was there at the back. Benson did beautifully on the boundary line. Gave it away by hand. They ran out of room though. And Walters saw it over the line for a boundary thrown in the end. Centre wing. 3-2-20. The Swans. St Mary's 1-4-10. 12 and a half played. Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this second term.
Leopold Sporties, Geelong 58, lead Williamstown 39 in the VFL. Liam McCarthy's just kicked a goal, the Colac product for the Cats. Here's Scott bursting through the contest from the boundary, throwing, tucks it under the arm. Has he had a bounce? He has a second. He straightens up. His low squirting ball is a poor one. McMullen from below his bootlace has got a handball up, and they're going to look to get out of trouble here in the right back pocket. Travellini. Back to Ling, chance for Churgwin. Churgwin now to kick towards right half back. Ask a lot of Damien McMahon. Using the body well as Mulroney, but he fell to ground after picking up the footy. He was picked up by Harry McMahon, who then forced a spillage, and Damien McMahon is taken to ground by Caldo. But gee, when Scott gets the footy
wobbles, doesn't he? He gets the speed wobbles.
Was he going too quick?
He's going too quick.
Far too quick. And we'll get a ball up. Left half forward for South Barwon, out of side. Tap down Davis, roving done by Sherman. Dribble to kick along the boundary line that's picked up by Hogan for South Barwon. Snaps a kick around his body. Bouncing ball over the head of Caldo. Knocked down by Noble towards Caldo. Little left foot kick didn't go 15. Siddle tried the don't argue on Churgwin. And he's going nowhere as he goes out of bounds. Boundary throw in left forward pocket. South Barwon in attack. They lead by 10 and they're holding strong.
We're looking at 21 minutes and 5 again, Kingy, I think.
We're looking at commentators' nightmare of always being in front of the scoreboard here, I can tell you. There's been a lot of play on the other side of the ground.
Absolutely.
Ball from Knott goes towards the front of the contest. Chalcraft kick around the corner, back towards centre wing, over the back. Swans have the numbers if it sits past Higgins. Oh, he got one high there, and the umpire says yes, he did. And Andy Higgins will take the free kick centre wing for South Barwon. No one behind. Well, there's one player behind him. Everybody in the other half of the ground as he goes along inside 50 with the kick. Off hands at the back of the pack. Oh, there's a high tackle there on Ling. Oh,
gee
whiz.
Still gave him a whack across the chop.
And the umpire says it's mine. So
I felt it from here.
25 out from goal. The Swans into attack. Knott did enough there in the ruck contest. Ball comes back towards half-back Lang. A long way up, takes the mark.
He does. A kick from Maishman fortuitously landing with Lang. And now St Mary's players take off forward of the footy. Steps around O'Neill on the mark. Now Langan buys another 5 metres and drives a kick wide, asking a lot of Dowling. But he was able to pluck it from over the head of Driver. Now, well, the play sort of just stopped, and then the kick was fantastic from Dowling. Tucking under the arm, and away goes Pritchard. He just pulls the kick inboard to Benson. Benson straightens up and kicks the goal. Well, that was all a little bit bizarre. Driver could probably argue that he should have been paid the mark as the man in front. But in the end, away came Dowling with the footy. Pritchard off to Benson, and they finished it off, and it's a goal for St Mary's as Benson comes to the bench, and they're back within 4 points. 2-4-16 St Mary's, South Barwon 3-2-20 in this second quarter of K-Rock football. Fapco Cafe 24/7.
It's a strange set of circumstances, that was. They'd be a little bit disappointed, I'd reckon, South Barwon, with time in forward half, probably favouring their end and not getting any benefit with their scoring opportunities. It certainly comes down to that last kick inside their forward 50. They're just hoping that the Bosley or Caldo mark works, and it's not at the moment. So they're going to need to lower their eyes and maybe hit up target when the St Mary's defenders come and zone off.
So back to the middle, Davis and Conway in the ruck. Madigan again, left-hand handball to James. He goes with the right foot kick inside 50. Connors working hard down there with Jasker. Pushed Noble past the football, Connors, and they saw it over the line for another throw-in at 35 around from the South Barwon goal.
Kirsch, just listening in, boundary side here, St Mary's looking to put some more work into Doyle Madigan. I think just watch Max Orgarinos be following around the stoppages now. They're yelling plenty of instruction out. On cue, he's over the footy now.
Yes, on cue, absolutely. Buzz, he goes from the contest with Lee, and he unfortunately ran out of room there. So, yeah, Maishman's right next to him there. Madigan coming back for the boundary throw-in. So Conway and Lee again. And Orgarinos now going with Madigan at the contest. Comes in, Lee gets it down, handball came back, Churg went off a step, high kick, and with the breeze, out of bounds well and truly, and South Barwon will take the free kick through Ryan Dillon.
I don't reckon it would have happened too many times this year or last year, Buzz, where the St Mary's midfield have to worry about an opposition midfielder.
They were just instructing Max to nudge Doyle under the footy. They're yelling every time. Once he after one of the clearances, St Mary's bench all yelled out every time.
Dillon, a driving kick to the goal square that's well judged by Conway, taking the mark for St Mary's between the left-hand goal and behind posts. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock, tick past 17 minutes. The scoreboard showing a 4-point South Barwon lead. That scoreboard is passed by the Sharon right now. Front of the pack, Madigan, after the spoil, knocked it down to the front of the pack. He'll send it along to the goal square. Actually, just left of that. Front of the pack was Connors. Ollie Lee with his head over the footy. McMullen was clean. His kick, though, was smothered. It'll ricochet back to McMullen. Kicked it straight into Mulroney, who's on his haunches for St John of God. Keep an eye on that, Buzz. Sherman, slick hands. Maishman threw a couple. Then it bounced at right half back. Handball release over the top for Damien McMahon. Inboard to Lang. Ran out of room, unfortunately. Damien McMahon not impressed with the call of the boundary umpire, and we'll get a boundary throw in as the Saints were out. Is he all right, Mulroney? I reckon he might have got the kick from McMullen right straight into his midriff.
Yeah, I think he did, Kingy, and the trainers was out with Jack Blood too. He went down pretty heavily as well. He's just got back up off his haunches as well. Keep an eye on him.
John of God, you're an emergency specialist, open 24/7.
So boundary throwing, Conway got it down. Davis kick, partly smothered. Falls to the side. Maishman got a leg. Should have got a free kick. Got the handball away anyway to Pritchard. Runs free, takes a bounce. Runs through the middle of McDonald Reserve. Goes to the wide open space at half forward. Dowling to come out. Will it sit for him? Yes, it does. Gives the handball back nicely. Little bit of candy. Blood again. Goes inside 50. McMahon works his way to the front. Can't take it though. Higgins. Experience. Handball was no good. Walters missed the target. He can't pick it up either. Goff does nicely off a step. Usually pretty good here, O'Neill. Across half back. James, can he pick it up? He can. He needs some support. O'Neill followed it up. Goes with the outside of the right boot. It's okay. And the mark's taken by Lee. They play on quickly. They come back inboard. High kick, dangerous. Towards over the top. No mark taken. That was O'Dwyer. And then at the back, Keast around the corner. Benson over the top. Oh, that should have been a free kick and will be to Sherman.
It was against Sexton. He goes short to Augurinos. Augurinos 70 from goal. Pulls it to the pocket. Dowling in a one-on-one. Mulroney positioned himself well, and Dowling somehow has plucked it with the one hand. Mulroney was the player in front, and Dowling has pulled up some sort of Houdini trick to pluck the footy. He picked his pocket and has taken the Hamlin hanger. That will be tough to beat for the mark of the afternoon. But this is going to be a tough kick for a left footer. Left forward pocket. Just darted his eyes inboard. I don't think he was ever thinking of passing at Paddy Dowling. He's kicked 16 on the season, coming off 5 last week against North Shore. Starts at left goal post, tries to work it, and he just pushed it across the face for a minor score. And it's a behind for Paddy Dowling. That's his first score of the afternoon, so you'd have to say Goff for the Geelong Insurance Brokers head-to-head. He's probably got the better of that at the moment in terms of the impact that Dowling hasn't had. 2-5-17 St Mary's, South Barwon 3-2-20, but I'm still marvelling at how he took that mark. How was that physically possible?
Well, he got the mismatch too, because Goff got caught out on that transition of the turnover up the ground.
Higgins kick in, outside 50 was a good kick for distance, but St Mary's have got the numbers. If they can get the ball forward here, they can't. They get worried out of it, and Dylan was across there, saw it over the line for the Swans, so we'll have a boundary throw in.
Leopold Sporties around the grounds. Geelong 59, Williamstown 39 at three-quarter time. Collingwood 63, lead Gold Coast 38, 18 and a half minutes into the second quarter at the MCG, your complete family venue, Leopold Sporties.
So Davis gets the clearing kick from the ruck contest, but good mark getting across there. They take it, and the Swans, the St Mary's boys go to Keast at centre half back with the ball. His kick inside is okay. Benson on hands and knees, got it away by hand. They run free. Chalcraft goes long inside 50. Conway behind, had to tap it. In fact, got it over the line. Got it over the shoulder, and the Swans will take the free kick and go across half back now. They drive it long with the kick. That came from Simmons out wide towards centre wing. They've got the numbers if it sits for them. They handball over the top. Siddle close to the boundary line, usually pretty good. Left foot kick though, terrible on this occasion. Damien McMahon takes the saving kick for St Mary's.
He goes short to Benson. And Benson just says, steady the things down, boys. We only trail by 3 points. We haven't played great footy, so let's just try and execute from deep inside forward 50. He goes laterally to Damien McMahon. Right back pocket for the Saints. Long way from home. Almost in the shadows of the scoreboard for Apco Cafe 24/7 that shows South Barwon 20, St Mary's 17. A long driving ball. That's not a great kick from Damien McMahon. That's gone out of bounds on the full. And the resultant free kick belongs with the Swans. It might be Todd White with it. He'll come inboard. He goes short to the ruckman Davis. Davis can come laterally to Driver. He showed a little bit too much of it to Rayner, and then Rayner was taken high by Driver. So they've turned it over here, the Swans. And Rayner's got it just back of the wing, out of side. He goes short. Neat little kick to Benson, who's stopped by White, but he got a handball on the bounce to Travellini. Travellini kick to the right forward pocket, not his best. It'll bounce away and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So in terms of skill execution, this hasn't been a great watch, but in terms of being absorbed by the contest, it's really got us riveted. South Barwon 3-2-20, St Mary's 2-5-17, 22 and a half minutes almost ticked over on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock.
Ruck contest, Davis got it down, and pack develops from that contest. James put the tackle on Pritchard, not going anywhere, so the umpire will come in and ball it up. 50 out from St Mary's goal. Ball in the air, not got it down to Benson. Kick around the corner into the Josh Conway cricket nets on the full, and it will be a free kick to Higgins.
I did receive a text during the quarter time break, funnily enough, Jason. It said, are they calling it that because he gets slapped around in there so much? And, that's probably fair.
Harsh. Higgins with the footy. He's got it in the left back pocket. Yeah. Just a bit undecided with which route he'll take out of defensive 50, and decides just to hit it down the line on the outer side. A lot of play out there with the wind this afternoon. Off the hands of the pack, McMullen couldn't complete the mark for St Mary's. Chance for O'Neill. He's dumped in the tackle. Ball spills. Might be Maishman underneath all of that, and he's going nowhere, and we'll get a ball up. Joey Maishman Had never played a senior game with St Mary's. Of course, 84 VFL games with Werribee, but just can't get a game in the yellow and black in the VFL at the moment. Here's Benson after the ball up, wrapped up by Simmons. Umpire says, give it to me. I'm going to ball it up one more time. 7 goals might win this afternoon, Kirsch.
Might indeed. Just a slight structure change up forward. They're going to be smaller, South Barwon. Maybe try and get one out the back with Bosley going off for a bit.
The one back alley Plant Farm. Davis climbed high for South Barwon, won the tap down. Good tackle on Madigan by Benson. Forces a spillage for Damien McMahon.
Goes inside, forward 50. In front, Harry McMahon claims it and plays on quickly. They go with the kick. Oh, well, Pritchard was running back with a flight of the footy. Dowling was coming out. The ball actually dropped a bit short. In fact, it is Zach Sherman who filled the gap, and he goes from 40 metres, doesn't waste any time, open goal square, but has missed it to the far side and through 4-1 behind. So another behind to the visitors. They go to 2-6-18. South Barwon 3-2-20. Upco Cafe 24/7 second quarter K-Rock scoreboard.
White into the right back pocket, he trots, and he'll go past our best seats in the house. Repco Cafe 24/7, almost kick it to us. Front position, Pritchard couldn't take the mark. Scott, bang, Benson, big tackle, drags him to ground. We'll get a ball up at left half forward for St Mary's. Just as Scott thought he might be able to decamp the scene, Harry Benson said, "You're going nowhere." He stepped straight into my arms, and I'm going to bring you to ground and get a stoppage. So umpire into the air, not a high throw up, tap down not to Benson. And just the intensity seems to lift when the ball finds itself in front of the broadcast van. As Benson is wrapped up going no once again. We'll get another stoppage. Umpire again into the air for Knott and Davis. This is a bit higher. Davis winning the tap down. Socket out of mid-air by Augurinos. Into the path of Dowling in a one-on-one. Working back their driver against Dowling. Will track it towards the cricket net. He'll be happy to see it out, I reckon, and he is. Boundary throw in right forward pocket. Northern end of the ground. St Mary's in attack, and you just get a little bit nervous and a little bit sweaty in the nether regions when Paddy Dowling is in the vicinity near goal.
So throw in front of the Josh Conway cricket nets. Does his best work in the middle. Doesn't need to worry about what he does in the nets, Josh.
Thursday nights are a waste, aren't they?
Thursday nights.
They're just for selection.
Yeah,
Just for the meals, Kingy.
correct. Just for the meals. Ball at the back of the contest. Clearing kick Mulroney. I think he might have kicked it into the car park. He has on the full. That's run halfway down Reynolds Road.
Out on the full stats again for Kerrs High today.
Especially on that side of the ground,
13
Kirsch.
in the last
Absolutely.
week.
So Damien McMahon has the resultant free kick at right half forward, plays on, drives it as long as he can into the pocket. Dowling's got 20, Lang's got 23 on him there. There was plenty going with the ball, and the umpire will come and ball it up in the right forward pocket. 3-2-20 the Swans, St Mary's 2-6-18.
Buzz, I take it Goff's just gone off for a rest because driver is taking Dowling.
Yeah, that's right, mate. He's up and about. He's fine down here.
Tap down by Knott, and the ball's gone off, hands out of bounds for a boundary throw in right forward pocket after that ball up. So we've gone towards 26 and a half minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel. The scoreboard 20-18 thanks to Upco Cafe 24/7 in this second quarter of K-Rock GFL football. From the boundary throw-in, Davis might have slightly got a hand on. It's going to roll out the back towards Maishman and also Dillon. Dillon tried to dive on it. Ball eluded him and out of bounds once again. And we have got 5 goals between two of the better teams in the competition to half-time. Yes, the breeze a factor, but is it that bad out there, Buzz? You've got a better feel for it than we have inside the K-Rock commentary box.
You certainly wouldn't think so, King. I did mention that it can get swirly and a bit deceiving out in the middle, but no, you wouldn't think it'd be this bad at the moment.
So Simmons received it from White, and he'll look to clear for South Barwon towards half forward.
He does. He goes up long. Connors pushed Noble past the football. Carmody uses some pace and gets out the back, picks it up, wheels back around on the right, kick around the corner to Mulroney. He can take it, has to sit and wait, holds up in the breeze. He goes further afield. They're going to be under pressure now. Duray, good tackle by Keast. And the ball's still in dispute. Well, that's dropping the footy, isn't it? If it comes out, it has to be.
Should have just held it in.
He should have just held it in. That's exactly right. And the free kick. Dillon gets up, has to hand the ball back. Keast has got it at centre half back now for St Mary's. Plays on. Straight down the middle of the ground, looking for Lang over the back. Hogan couldn't take the mark. Ball still in dispute. Lang handball on hands and knees, got it away. McMahon towards Maishman. If it sits for him, he's away. It sits beautifully for him. He's 45 out and closing on the boundary line. He can come back in towards Blood, and also there's 3 of them. They're lining up, and Harrison Ling has taken the mark and will shoot for goal from 35 out directly in front. In fact, it's Jack Walters. So Walters was there, and also Pritchard was there. Jack Blood was there, and they raffled it. And Jack Walters will shoot for goal from 35 out And this to give St Mary's a lead for the first time today. Very close to half-time. Jack Walters comes in, right foot kick. Oh, no. That's just got it in, but can't put it up in the breeze like that.
Unless you're flying a kite. It's the only reason, Jace, you'd put it up there.
That's it, 2-7-19 now, St Mary's, South Barwon 3-2-20, and that's on the Upco Cafe 24/7. K-Rock's second quarter scoreboard, and we have played 29 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Two behinds for Walters this afternoon as White for South Barwon goes towards half-back with a kick looking for Mulroney, another Koroit product. He'll win a free kick here, I suspect, because Lang got over the top of him, or has he gone below the knees? No, it's below the knees.
Yep.
So Lang with the resultant free kick. Down on the mark, 45 from goal. Steps inside Sexton. Sends it on its way now to the pocket. Looking for Dowling to use the body. Couldn't get Kelly O'Neill off the footy or O'Dwyer. Davis does the unlikely roving at the front. Gave it to Siddle through traffic. Handball release on the bounce to O'Neill. Handball back towards Siddle. He wasn't expecting it. Hands and knees. He flicks it up to Higgins. Taken by McMahon without the footy. Quick snap out of the pack. Pritchard. And they lead St Mary's. It was just like a tsunami going backwards. Pushing. As Higgins is hurt, he is grabbing at a right hip or similar or back, and that's not ideal for St John of God. Andy Higgins is down. He was just confronted there by the St Mary's forwards, and that forced a spillage for Pritchard, and he's got to his feet, but he is proppy. Hopefully it's just a stinger or...
Corky.
Yeah.
Nasty knee.
Could have been a massive corky, just a big knee right into the kidney.
Not ideal for Andy Higgins, and he's coming towards you. Buzz, keep an eye on that. But the goal kicked by Pritchard, and they're back in front for the first time since the 21-minute mark of the opening term. 3-7-25, playing 3-2, 22nd quarter, Apco Cafe 24/7.
So the ball, free kick over the shoulder. South Barwon going to take it, and Madigan, who's had a good first half, will play on past Benson, and goes with a left foot kick long to half forward. St Mary's had the players there. Jasker saw it over the boundary line in the end. It's a battle of the headbands in there, isn't it? Doyle Madigan and Harry Benson. And it will be a throw-in. 35 around from the Swans goal.
Not much defence being played at the MCG. 71 plays 50. 29 minutes into the second quarter, Jace.
So throw-in.
Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue.
Taking its time too, the throw-in. Not. Gets it down, double fist up as the siren sounds for half-time here at McDonald Reserve. And it will
come and watch my beloved Swans take on St Mary's. Third quarter about to get underway. Thanks to Metricon. Our half-time was for Gami Chicken and Beer. Treat yourself to Gami Chicken and Beer at Warren Ponds. But here is Jason Doherty as Davis grabs it out of the ruck.
He does. He grabbed it out and kicked it towards half forward. So a quick start by the Swans. They push towards 50. Churgwin gets the clearing kick for St Mary's around the corner at centre wing now with the ball. Blood on the outside. Tries to come back inside. He did 360 actually. Kicked it around the corner towards half forward. Off the back of the pack, Conway. Wrapped up by White. Pushed over the boundary line. The umpire said, throw it in at right half forward. So the St Mary's side kicking to the Clairvaux southern end of the ground in this third term. And they are into attack over the back of the ruck contest. Swans grab it and go towards centre wing. Two number 31s go up. McMullen at the back. Damien McMahon in the middle. Loses the football. Picked it up again in the tackle. Umpire says, held to him. And he'll come in and ball it up right on centre wing.
It's like Conway is that tall starting in the forward line for St Mary's on driver. So they have got a taller option down there now.
Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchups. Wombat Gully Plant Farm, 201 Townsend Road in Millette. We're now open 7 days. Here's Madigan at the contest, giving it a handball off to Jure. Jure kicking on his right boot. Going to be a free kick for a hold. It might go to Caldo against McMullen. So Caldo's keeping McMullen interested. Caldo just sends it long, asking for Scott to do a lot of work. Oh, wonderful mark back with the flight by Keast. Gee, he's been a little bit uncertain a couple of times this afternoon, but he was very good there, taking a Hamlin hanger contender. Back with the flight of the footy was a good grab. And Connors gives him a little high five on the way out. So, well done, mate, that was good. Goes short to Damien McMahon with a kicker, who goes very short to Harry Ling. Ling's got it just outside defensive 50. In front of our best seats in the house thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7. He goes with a short kick on the 45 to Benson at right half back. Disciplined South Barwon in their setup. Benson runs past us, kicks now towards just forward of the wing, looking for a marking option off the hands of the pack. Rayner took it. He ran himself into trouble, was dragged to ground, and then he was pinged for holding the footy. That was a wonderful tackle because Rayner wanted to burst away, but O'Dwyer made sure he was going nowhere.
Got it away by hand. Quickly they go inside forward zone towards Lee. Got one high. Front sent was Noble. Got it away to Duray. Heard the call from Caldo outside. His right foot kick to the pocket to Bosley, who had 10 metres on Jasker and has taken the marker. Will shoot for goal in the left forward pocket. And he's about 45 out from goal. He hasn't troubled the scorers this afternoon. Tough kick,
really hard kick, yeah. Even if you do allow for that sort of out of bounds on the full post to the point post, it is a very tough kick to guide it
on
through.
Anzac Day, Kirsch, exactly the same.
I reckon he's kicked a few of these from training as well, and he comes in right foot kick. He's pushed it across the face of goal this time. As it got the distance, it's punched through for a behind to the Swans, so they get the scoring going in the third term. South Barwon, they go to 3-3-21. Trail St Mary's 3-7-25. Metricon K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard.
Just a tougher breeze than Anzac Day today, I reckon.
Ling to bring the ball back into play as the breeze gets up slightly. Ling brings it broadcast side, asks a lot of McMullen. Spoiled Duray to the front of the pack. Bosley handball back up to Duray. Duray sells a little bit of candy on McMullen, then gives a handball to Madigan. Madigan 51 from goal. Noble, just couldn't clutch onto a bullet-like pass from Madigan. It's off hands and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in in the left forward pocket. So opportunities are there for South Barwon, but just unable to take them early in this third quarter thanks to Metricon, your local builder, and we're building strong. Tapped down by Knott, rolling ball to the front of the pack. Siddle barges his way through, creates a path for Lee. Lee's kick to the goal square. Jasker played it well, knocked it away from the outstretched arms of Bosley for a minor score, and the margin is now 3. So make that 3-4-22 South Barwon, St Mary's 3-7-25. 4 minutes gone, Port Phillip Ferries time clock, third quarter of Carroll football.
Ling's kick in was meant for Maishman. It actually went shorter than him, so Churgwin took the mark. Lucky, I think. Was going to hit Maishman on the half volley, so Churgwin short to Connors in the back pocket. So Nick Connors along the line. Long kick high. Benson there as well. Kept his eye on it, went up, punched away in the end by O'Neill. See it over the line for a throw-in just forward of centre wing for St Mary's. And Davis and Knott, who've done the majority of the ruck work this afternoon, will continue their contest. Short boundary throw-in. Davis in front, takes out the ruck again. Handball over the top. James has ripped off the football. Damien McMahon left it for Pritchard over the top. The umpire will come in. Ball it up centre wing, St Mary's 3-7-25. South Barwon 3-4-22. We've played 5 minutes in this third term. Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Here's Tom King on K-Rock football.
Thank you, Jason Doherty. Tapped down Davis. Quick kick forward. And it was a tumbling punt from James that Caldo took well. 51 from goal. He turns and kicks quickly to the advantage of Bosley. That's a wonderful kick from Caldo. He was able to put it over the head of Keast to the advantage of Bosley, who had Jasker with him as well. And Bosley was able to take it nicely on the chest, and he'll go back and have a shot with the man on the mark standing around 25 from goal. You would think for a player of Bosley's class and experience, and for the sake of Chris Nichols, he will go back and kick this one and add to his season's tally that sits at 12. Finds himself 4 behind Dowling. This to cut that margin to 3 and to give South Barwon a 3-point lead, and he likes it too, Andrew Bosley.
Fisters again.
He likes the double fist.
He does, doesn't he?
And he's got himself a goal. He's 13th of the season, first of the afternoon, and South Barwon take back the lead. They lead 4-4-28. St Mary's 3-7-25 in this third quarter of K-Rock football, thanks to Metricon. And Metricon, you can build with confidence.
We spoke about it at half-time, about how both teams can probably open this game of footy up, and it was St Mary's starting with a tall. They started with a tall, and we talked about South Barwon's entries going to their forward half, or into their forward 50. Their last 3 entries have actually been small, lower hit-ups that have hit targets as opposed to their long bombs. So both teams have changed in the way we thought they might have changed.
Final score in the VFL, thanks to Leopold Sporties. Geelong 66, defeated Williamstown 54.
Davis got it forward to Dillon. His handball over the top. Set a bit of a task for James to run onto it. Sherman's handball just set a task as well. Ling got a clearing kick for St Mary's, but it's going to come back with interest because Sexton takes the mark right half forward. 60 from goal for South Barwon. He's got Duray yelling for it long. It's going to be a tough kick from there. He goes to the pocket, over the head of a few. At the back, no mark taken. The umpire, I think, said it was touched before it got to Darcy Churgwin. And he's wrapped up. We'll have a ball up.
I haven't been able to see a bloke kick 95 metres, but Duray was hoping.
He was hoping.
Bernie Quinlan maybe, if he's not playing.
Right forward pocket, cricket nets, grabbed out of the ruck by Knott, who gave a handball off to Benson, who kicks on his left boot towards half-back, rolling ball. Went past Lang, chance here for Walters. Wonderful handball on the up to Blood, who bursts away with a second bounce. Out of side wing, make that 3 bounces now. He can have a 4th bounce. He can steady now. He's about 45 from home. He's got an open goal, and he rolls it towards the right-hand behind post, and it's just snuck in for a behind. Gee, it would have been some sort of goal from Blood. He just took off Blake Scott style through the middle of McDonald Reserve. But unfortunately, he's missed to the right. It's a minor score, 3-8-26. South Barwon, 4-4-28.
Oh, White kicks it in, turned it over. Damien McMahon takes the mark. So St Mary's with another opportunity, deep forward. He's right on the boundary line, 50 out. Going to take a fair kick from there. He's going to have a shot, though. He's thinks he's half a chance.
This is another near impossible kick.
Well, he comes in, right half forward, 50 out, drives it long, across the face of goal, off the back of the pack, and it's going to be another boundary throw in. Left forward pocket, southern end of the ground, Clairvaux end. 3-8-26 St Mary's. South Barwon with the lead again, 4-4-28, 8.5 played third term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock.
Flung back into play. Davis grabbed it out of the ruck. A quick handball away that deflected back towards him. Simmons went to go off the ground. Handball out of the pack. James to Madigan. Chance to clear. It might have been Mulroney throwing it on the boot to half back. McMahon positioned himself well in front of Duray. And he's given away a free kick, has he? And it's a free kick to Duray, who now kicks. He's got James, who's run forward to the footy, middle of McDonald Reserve. Bangs it long, wanting Bosley. Oh, Jasker dropped what he should have taken, and it's hit the ground. Opened the door up for Caldo. Gave it to Carmody. Carmody out in front of Scott. Oh, put down the glasses. If it sits, he'll stroll into goal. And they'll push the margin out to 8 points. Josh Jasker's just had a moment of madness where he should have taken the mark. He puts his hands to his hips and he just shakes his head slightly and says, uh-oh, that wasn't ideal. And it's a 5-4-34 to 3-8-26 lead for South Barwon. It's 8 points to the buffer, and there's an injury concern for South Barwon as we go down to your buzz for St John of God.
Yeah, it's Josh O'Dwyer. King, he came off early in the first quarter complaining of a cork. I think it might just be a reoccurrence of that, but he has been battling with it all through the game.
Thanks, Buzz, for St John of God. Emergency specialist, now open 24/7. We'll keep an eye on that. And back in the middle, it was Simmons, but he couldn't take it away. Benson could. Got it by hand to Blood. His handball over the top, though. Missed the target, which was Walters. He comes back and gets it. A couple of don't argues. Kick around the corner. Right foot kick. Goes out wide. Close to the boundary line. They fight for it. Duray's back there. Handball on the up. Swans working overtime. Little kick off the ground was okay to Madigan. Got some clearance. Then got under pressure. That's dropping the footy. It is. And St Mary's will take the free kick. And it's going to be McMahon again. He's had a good start to this third term. He kicks it back in. Board. Benson put the one hand up. Took the mark. So now Benson from right half forward. Drive it long to the top of the square. No great mark kick taken. It was a great kick, but they're going to go away now. And there's a push after the kick there, but the umpire says play on. Carmody's going to have the race for the football close to the boundary line. He runs out of room. Ling was right next to him. And we'll have a throw in on centre wing on the outer side.
Driver was the man positioning himself well in the South Barwon defence to get that ball away. It's a handy little advantage they've got as we approach 11 minutes gone in the third quarter. They're keeping St Mary's at arm's length. Kicked the only 2 goals of this third quarter so far. That's on the Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Now just ticking past 11 minutes as we speak. Ball back into play. Umpire flings it in with the left hand. Davis and Knott. Ball's allowed to hit the ground. There's going to be a free kick going which way? It's going to go to St Mary's, is it? Or South Barwon? It's going to South Barwon as Siddle was decamping the scene. He's been told no advantage. Davis, Madigan confronted by Benson. That's holding the ball. That wasn't a very smart handball from Davis, or it wasn't a smart ask to receive from Madigan. Benson, middle of McDonald Reserve, pushes the kick wide, looking for a marking option. Won't get to Dowling. Back with the flight. Wonderful mark taken by Driver. Hamlin Hanger contender. back with the flight, positioned himself well and holds things up again and helps out Goff with some good defensive plays. He gives a handball off to Sexton around the back.
So Sexton just holds the ball up, nowhere to go. Goes left, goes right, gets pulled. Oh, gee whiz. He was lucky there. Goff got the clearing handball close to the boundary line. Oh, they've turned it over, though. The pressure from St Mary's has done well. Ling has taken the ball at half forward. Will be called to play on now. He goes to the pocket. The lead's on. No park taken. Play on the call. Duray at the back. Handball over the top. Around the boundary line. Sherman, right foot kick. Oh, gee whiz. I tell you what, it was pretty close from Zach Sherman. He's kicked 2 behinds this afternoon. And they go to 3-9-27. St Mary's, South Barwon 5-4-34. And I think it might be Team Tyre Power with the ball. He's taken 2. He's got the speed wobbles on centre wing. Scott, he gets wrapped up this time and he's dropped the football. He found somebody who could measure him. It was Rayner. He did nicely and will take the free kick on centre wing.
Rayner concedes some ground back to Chelcraft, who had to stretch to mark at the point of the square almost at left half back. Okay, Chelcraft from Shepparton out of the Murray under-18s is on the Geelong VFL development list. Brother Jai playing with the Cats as well. He's kicked towards left half forward. Travellini has it. That's 70 from home, make it 75. He swings onto his right boot, opens up the angle, and then sends a long ball to about 20 from goal. Lang positioned himself, couldn't complete the mark, and he's going to give away a free kick, Tom Lang. And it's going to go to Driver.
Dowling actually knocked it out of his hand. There were only 2 that flew for it.
Driver, right back pocket, just holds things up for South Barwon. Just controls his kick, and it's a neat one to Hogan. And they stay just inside defensive 50. Hogan now, a little bullet into the path of White. White feeds a handball wide. They look to run through Simmons. Simmons on his left boot now. Kick towards centre half forward. Siddle to fly in a 2-on-1. Couldn't complete the mark, but brought the ball to ground. Ball's knocked towards right half back, and Pritchard will look to straighten up onto his left boot.
Takes the bounce, runs through the middle, left foot kick towards Dowling, who goes up. Takes a good mark, Dowling. And he's pretty confident. He goes back 50 out directly in front.
It's his first mark on Goth.
Didn't kick the goal yet this afternoon, Patrick.
10 points the margin at the MCG. Collingwood 72, Gold Coast 62 for Leopold Sporties.
So Clevo into the ground just to bring the margin back to a point. He comes in, needs to keep it pretty low from what we've seen. He goes, drives it long. Has he got the distance? He has. So Paddy Dowling puts his first on the board. His first of the day. He's got a 1-goal-1, and St Mary's kick their fourth. 4-9-33, trail South Barwon 5-4-34, and it's on the Metricon K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard, Metricon, your local builder, and we're building strong.
Some good defensive work there from St Mary's, and then attack the corridor. You haven't seen it too many times today where they've attacked the corridor, and they've one kick into their forward half, and obviously Dowling did the rest.
They were forced to a little bit because Pritchard's a left footer.
Correct, so he's come back in board, hasn't he? But look how easy it was to attack the corridor. The corridor was open because a lot of wings have got some spread, but it was a nice hit up, and Dowling did the rest.
Nice Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup between a couple of very experienced heads in McMahon and Sexton taking place on the near side. Back in the middle, not winning the tap down. Mulroney, the roving for South Barwon. And then slipping was Conway in the mud as he tried to get to the footy. James is wrapped up. Is it James? Is he pinged for holding the ball? He is.
Stiff.
And in fact, it's, Dylan. And the free kick will go to Chelcraft. He's got a man all alone out wide at Shergwin, who can then chip one over the top, and Keast has got it, left half forward, swings onto his right boot. Past the scoreboard, he goes into the pocket, wanting Lang. Ball carries the pack. Dowling will see it over the boundary line out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Left forward pocket, Port Phillip Ferry's time clock showing us 15 3/4 minutes gone in this third quarter of K-Rock football. Hope you're enjoying the call through K-Rock 955, krock.com.au, and the AFL Barwon Facebook live stream. Davis, the palm down to the front of the pack. James does the roving and then gets away from the scene a little bit too easily. That's a dangerous kick, but Sexton was equal to it to take the mark, hit the ground running, and a bullet onto the chest of Scott.
So K-Rock's road runner goes from centre half back. Long kick towards centre half forward. Carmody has to make a bit of ground. Jasker can't take it. Carmody can. He went left, right, through the ball out in the end. Siddle. He got the tackled as well. The umpire says play on. He got the clearing kick. It was a little toe poke to Madigan. Jasker reads the play the better, takes the mark inside defensive 50. Handballs it away to Damien McMahon, who's had a good third term. Takes the bounce at half back. Drives it long towards half forward. Good mark in front by Goff. Did nicely and plays on quickly. Makes the play towards half forward. Blood just straight back on the ground. He can't take it. Connors got it away by hand to Ling. His handball back towards Connors, who was still on the hands and knees. So was Blood. So South Barwon do nicely. Ball spills free. Caldo rides the bump. He gets one high as well, and we'll take a free kick. And that was the second tackle, came from Damien McMahon, and he will take it. The skipper for South Barwon on centre wing.
Thought the umpire was going to play holding the ball. Just was very deliberate in the way he paid it. Caldo driving the kick inside forward 50. Bosley with a run at it. Oh, Bosley. There's paid. Hamlin Hanger contender. McMullen spoiled just a little bit too late. Bosley paid the mark. Man on the mark to stand 40 from goal. And Bosley a chance to put his team back out by more than a kick. Just the way when he gets that run and jump at the footy and just he floats to the ball.
That's a good description, King. He does float, doesn't he, towards the ball? Floats into the pill.
Wearing the long sleeves this afternoon, Andrew Bosley.
Going to need a little bit of left to right here, isn't it?
152 goals in 66 GFL games for the Swans Junior. From 48 metres, starts it left, works it back, but too far to the right and through for a minor score. So Bosley this afternoon, by my count, with 1 goal, and the margin is now 2 points. 5-5-35, playing 4-9-33 on the K-Rock Metricon scoreboard. At Metricon, you can build with confidence.
So Ling kicked it in. Algarinos gets the ball, goes towards McMullen, who stuck the hand up, pushed to the umpire. Bosley take the free kick. So the Swans back into their forward 50 and the umpire said to a number of spectators, many of them St Mary's boys by the looks of it, with the St Mary's tops on, to get over the fence.
It was very clever because they had time to get back and fill the hole.
Well done by St Mary's. So the ball goes to the top of the square. Big punch away. Jasker falls into the arms of Keast. He tried to tap it on. He did. Algarinos over the top. Now, short little kick, missed the target, which was Rayner. Now Bosley, bit of a goose step, left foot kick, close to the boundary line. Doesn't matter, Churgwin there anyway, and takes the mark for St Mary's.
Right back pocket, long way from home. 18, nearly 19 minutes ticked over on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Churgwin with it in the iridescent orange boots. He just cuts back inboard slightly and kicks towards half-back. McMullen, his target, can't mark. Spoil came from Duray, but off the hands of the pack. Conway, Maishman released to Blood. Blood with a bounce as soon as he took the footy. Got it on the broadcast wing. Pulls the kick back inboard. Too much on it for Benson. Rolling ball attacked by Driver. Handball to James. James in the middle of McDonald Reserve. Sends it wide, wanting Carmody. Wing with a good spoil. There's 3 Saints there if they can get in there. Keast, though, can't take the footy, and they're a chance here. Driving ball inside forward 50 is not a great kick coming in from, it might have been Scott, and Bosley's going to have to take it at the cricket net. Harassed by Connors, got himself out of trouble, came back inboard. Well done, Churgwin, cut it off, knocked it to his own advantage, and the Saints are away.
To Benson, back to Churgwin. Oh, he dropped it though. Oh, they came the other way, need some help. Rayner was in there helping as well. Back towards Benson, shows some skill, goes back 30 metres. Just holds it up. Pritchard takes the mark and they slow it down to Mary's.
Everyone needs a breather.
Churgwin was away.
He was. He just left the footy behind. So Pritchard now from the back pocket into towards the centre wing position. Hands there. No mark taken. Off the side of the pack. And the umpire says play on. Scott tried to get it away. Did to Davis. Handball over the top towards James. He got it further afield. Duray handball back in. Now, in fact, that's Duray. He gets it with a left foot kick towards Bosley, who comes out. Can't take it. Jasker. Oh, he's under pressure. Held his ground, though. Handball underneath. Intelligent to Benson. Tries to tap it on. Close to the boundary line. Duray gets across there. Went left, went right. One will go right with the kick. It's beautiful. Defensive towards 50. Mulraney has taken the mark and wants to play on quickly. Goes towards the pocket. The lead's on, and Lee takes the mark in front of Keast and will shoot for goal from 25 out, 45-degree angle.
Now, this won't be as bad a kick at goal if he goes that left goal post and draws it right. probably be happier kicking it from that side than this side.
So Ollie Lee, who's kicked one this afternoon, this to take the margin back out to 8 points. Comes in, 25 out in the right forward pocket, holds it up. Goal umpire says he's missed it. Through for one behind. So 1-1, his personal tally. And South Barwon go to 5-6-36. They lead St Mary's 4-9-33. Metricon K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
Ling with the footy in his defensive goal square, northern end of the ground. Team trailing by 3. Just trots off out of the goal square into the right back pocket and then sends a kick looking long for Knott. Oh, good strong grab there by Caldo, the skipper for the Swans. Is a good grab at left half forward. 21 3/4 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Caldo happy just to set it up. Where's Bosley? Where's Lee? Both will fly. Bosley front position off the hands of the pack. Connors had it knocked away from his grasp by Lee into the path of Siddle. Connors took him in a tackle. Ball spills out, but not before the umpire had blown the whistle and said, give it to me. 25 metres out from the South Barwon goal. Just left of centre. Umpire McElhinney, one of the 3 in charge this afternoon. He'll put it into the air. Tapped down by Knott into space. Sherwin just snapped a kick over his shoulder to get it outside of defensive 50. Eluded Travellini and Sexton. White coming one way. Looped a handball into the air. Walters had to wait for it for St Mary's next to the boundary line. We've got an issue with Sherwin down in back play for St John of God. He's clutching at a left shoulder and he's in a little bit of pain. And there's a bit going on off the footy between Dillon and Connors. Not sure whether that's got anything to do with Sherwin being down in back play. He's now got to his feet. He's shaken off the physio and says, I'll get back into the play, but he is favouring that left shoulder as we get a boundary throw in left forward pocket for the South Barwon.
So Lee took it out of the ruck contest but lost it. Now the quick clearing kick from Maishman. And good mark. Conway just pushed Davis past the footy. Took the mark. Plays on and centre wing. Goes towards half forward. Rayner's out if it sits for him. Will it come back to him? It doesn't. Goff backed himself beautifully to Madigan. His handball out further afield. They got the spare man. James takes the mark right next to the boundary line on centre wing. So Goff backed himself beautifully and turned the ball over. And now they go long with the kick towards half forward. Big pack. Lee goes up. Oh, Hamlin hanger contender from Ollie Lee on the point of the centre square at half 40. Just highs it long towards Bosley. He's got to get 3 against him. He goes up. Can't take the mark off the back of the pack. Saints again under pressure. Augurinas gets away. Churgwin, he's recovered. Goes with a right foot kick towards half barrel. Lee again just doing nicely across half forward.
Yeah, Lee laterally. I think they're going back to Sherwin. The physio just trotted past us for St Mary's. Concedes back to Duray. Duray, the Ovens and Murray product, into the pocket for Bosley. Good spoil by Jasker. Brought the ball to ground. Saints have got numbers, including Maishman, who put his head over the footy. Spilled out. Handball out of the pack was good. And it found Knott, who on the outside of the right boot. Got Rayner now back to Maishman. Tucks it under the arm. Wants to take on Sexton. Slung by Sexton. Affected the handball. Head over the footy was good from Conway. Sherman. Handball up to Keast. Keast forward. Wonderfully weighted kick. Travellini. He's got nothing forward of him though. So he has to retreat slightly off the mark and then kick to the pocket wanting Dowling. Big spoil Goff, who's had a wonderful afternoon. We are watching a defensive star emerge before our eyes in Rowan Goff of South Barwon Kirsch.
We sure are.
He'll be on the VFL list soon. You watch.
Mate, I tell you what, he's been impressive, hasn't he? Even this quarter, just to know when to come off his opponent and when not to, you know, like it's just something that it takes a lot of experience to know when to do that. But 6 games in, he's learning that craft already.
So boundary throw in. 45 around from the St Mary's goal. It's a short boundary throw in. Davis worked his way to the front. Ball in dispute. Madigan in the middle. They get away. Sexton wrapped up. Dropped the footy in the tackle. St Mary's with the free kick. And just as you think Goff's doing something nicely, his opposite number, Paddy Dowling, does something better.
Yeah, onto the Sexton tackle.
Yep, it was a great tackle from Dowling. Kept the pressure on in the right forward pocket, and he will have a set shot for goal. He's kicked 1-1 this afternoon. This to give the Saints the lead again. He's going to be kicking from about 30 metres out, but tough angle.
Around the corner.
Around the corner, if you don't mind. He's going to come around on the left. He plays on now. Left foot kick around. Has it got the distance? No, it hasn't. Through. Just 4-1 behind. Touched on the line. So 1 goal, 2. His personal tally.
Guess who touched it too, Jace?
Goffy. 4-10-34. St Mary's, South Barwon 5-6-36. 26 played. Third term Port Phillip Ferry's time clock.
White, the short kick in, and he finds a target. And Sexton. Great to see Will Sexton back playing footy because he's been just riddled with injury over the last few years. Hasn't got the full value out of how good a footballer he is. His kick for Mulroney was dropped, but it fell for Davis, who gave a handball back to Mulroney. Mulroney's kicked it up the chimney towards half forward. Coming out, Pritchard couldn't complete the mark. Off the hands of the pack, the handball away from Carmody was stolen by Pritchard. And now he kicks towards left half forward. He's seen something he likes. Harry McMahon just had the speed wobbles going back with the fly to the footy. Couldn't find his ground, and he couldn't complete the mark either. It's off hands and out of bounds in the left forward pocket. Just in the shadows of the scoreboard, that for Metricon, at Metricon you can build with confidence. South Barwon 36, St Mary's 34, 26 and a half minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Knott and Davis, as they have for a lot of the afternoon, compete. Davis won the tap and then did his own roving and then kicked a high ball. And we have got a siren on a quarter that has gone less than 27 minutes. Never wanted to play on the outer wing at Geelong. He always wanted to be on the members' side of the ground.
Yeah.
And we got the final term underway for Abco Cafe 24-7.
So Davis gets it down, but goes to his opposite number, Knott, who gets a clearing kick towards Keast at half forward. Falls though for Duray, handball, missed James is the target. Now coming the other way, Harry McMahon got it. Gets it back to Jack Blood through Lang, kick around the corner. But it's chopped off. White takes the mark for South Barwon, just chips the ball back to Driver. Inside defensive 50 takes the mark. He's got Goff lateral, but Dowling cuts that off. He's got Hogan as well. He elects to go further afield, long down the line towards centre wing. Over the back, Churgwin, who's recovered from that shoulder stinger in the third term, takes the mark.
There was a good grab on Caldo too as he sends it long inside forward 50. Lang flew along with Keast. Neither could mark. Front of the pack, South Barwon with numbers. Handball up from Driver, and then it went to Duray, who gave it to White. White ran out of room, and we'll get a boundary throw in around the right forward pocket, maybe just slightly outside 50 with the Saints in attack. They're attacking the Northern or Cricket Net's end of the ground. The Josh Conway Cricket Net's here at McDonald Reserve. Knott got rid of Big Davis in the ruck contest, lost the footy in a tackle of Madigan, but it spilled for Algarinos, who kicks to a one-on-one. Dowling, good work, Driver getting back just to get a hand on the footy and knock it away from the impending mark of Dowling, and now Dowling with the footy has lost it in the tackle. Rather, it was Maishman, and it's out of bounds. Boundary throw in right forward pocket. Opening quarter gone, a minute and a half on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. No change in the score. It's South Barwon 36, St Mary's 34.
So throw in deep into St Mary's attack. Davis down there. He'll be up against Lang. Thrown in, right forward pocket. Lang from behind. Got it down. Ball falls to the side. White close to the boundary line. Handball over the top. Noble had to sit and wait for it. Wrapped up by Blood. And the umpire says it's his. And we'll have a ball up still inside 50 for the Saints.
Interesting matchup up forward for Wombat Gully Plant Farms, Jace. Nick Connors has taken Ollie Lee, which as we saw in that third quarter, Ollie Lee took some really good marks.
Got off the chain a bit, didn't he?
Did, yeah.
So ruck contest, side of the pack. Noble got the clearing kick towards centre wing. Caldo couldn't keep it in. Ling was across there, right in front of Marcel Berens, taking some great snaps for Geelong Regional Football across there. And we're going to have another boundary throw in. 14-34 St Mary's, the South Barwon Swans, 5-6-36.
Yeah, up close and personal, Marcel with the boundary umpire over there at the moment. This will be a great ruck contest photo, you would suspect. Well, it's not a great throw in. It favours Knott, but he couldn't take it cleanly. Neither could Davis in the end when he picked up the loose ball. Harry McMahon up to Blood. Blood, while being pulled to the ground, got a 5-metre kick away, only as far as White. Quick handball off to Noble. Noble, the Model Warrior product, banging it towards half forward, but Churgwin, who's been solid at times down back, especially in the last quarter and a bit, has taken the mark on the chest. Son of Darren, 1992 St Mary's Premiership player. Who'd they beat? I think they beat Lara maybe in 92. Kick to half forward. Were you there, Kirsch? No,
I was there, yeah.
You were? Well,
I didn't play.
Didn't play? That's probably why they lost.
You're correct.
And the long ball inside 50s marked by Dowling. Dowling swings onto his left boot, wants the goal square, and Travellini, it's knocked away by Duray. Front of the pack, numbers with the Swans. The handball there of O'Neill. Sold Madigan up the river. Back with the flight. Dropping the mark was White as the kick came in towards goal. And it's actually fallen through his arms. Thankfully, he's touched it. And we will get a boundary for a behind.
This isn't worth stopping the game for Kingy, really.
They've been there all day.
Yeah, people sitting on the
kids
sitting on the end of the cricket pitch. Yeah, 4-11-35, South Barwon 5-6-36. If it's such a big deal, they might as well rope off between across the front of the cricket wickets.
Kick by White, and he got one from Lang, I think, late. So down the field 25's the kick, so not Scott.
Pretty sure it doesn't really matter, but
Anyway, Madigan is going to take the free kick and he's going to handball it to Scott anyway. So team tie power Scott. Look at him, the road runner. He goes left, he goes right. He goes with the right foot kick, he gets slung. Oh, look, beautiful pass to Caldo. Right on the chest at centre wing. He drives it long along the half-forward line. Turned it over again, though. And mark taken by Ling, who wants to switch the play. He wants to run across half-back and go with the kick. It's a great kick, too, on the outside. Maishman's got it.
He has, and he'll have a bounce at right half-back. He can have a second if he so desires. Nobles to shut him down. He had to go backwards with a handball. Found Harry McMahon, who under pressure released back to Maishman. Maishman spun out of trouble, gave a handball off. Keast sends it long towards half-forward, positioning himself. Dowling couldn't mark. Taken away by Hogan to O'Neill. Handball missed the target. Rayner will be there to try and knock it away from Simmons. Here comes Geray for South Barwon. Left half back, turns and kicks on his left, just over the head of Maishman. James Benson wraps him up. That's holding the footy umpire. Surely that wasn't a clean disposal from James.
Sure wasn't.
And Benson will just get on with the business, because that's how Harry Benson plays. He goes, all right, I didn't get the decision. I'll just go and win the footy at the next stoppage, which is a boundary throw-in. Tapped down by Davis. Rolling ball towards the boundary line. There is Benson and James again. James a handball on the up to Noble. Noble wanted Simmons but missed him. Sherman put his head over the foot. He did well. And then gave a handball up to Blood. Blood skidding kick to McMahon was all right. Handball back to Sherwin, who on the outside of the right boot finds Pritchard on the cricket table.
Wants to wheel on that left foot. Does so now. Short little kick's okay. Finds Chalcraft. He goes around the corner. Oh, just Travellini's got it. Left half forward, wants to pump it in. Dowling says kick it now before he gets three people on him. He goes now towards him. He's going to have a couple there. Dowling goes up, can't take the mark. Kenny turns around, kicks the Lambie's tavern. Goal of the day. He turns around. We were waiting for it. And Paddy Dowling has delivered his second of the afternoon. And fantastic finish from Paddy Dowling. And it gives them the lead. St Mary's 5-11-41. They lead South Barwon 5-6-36. Apco Cafe 24/7 K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
The Van Wall finally broke because the pressure of St Mary's, even from the contests prior to that, forced turnover after turnover, and South Barwon looked really panicky with ball in hand, transferring the pressure, just giving the ball to other people in worse positions, and eventually you turn the ball over and they come back through the corridor and into their forward 50 with ease.
He just plays a level above, doesn't he, Paddy Dowling?
Does. Doesn't need much opportunities, does he?
He's kicked two this afternoon. You feel for Goff, because Goff's been outstanding on him defensively in that head-to-head for Geelong Insurance Brokers. Tap down one by Knott, but the roving done by White. Kick towards it was Mulroney rather, kick towards half forward. It's going to come back though. Damien McMahon with the footy, handball back to the voice of Jasker, who gives it back to Damien McMahon. Left back pocket. Oh, had his kick partially smothered. Might have opened the door up here, although they're pretty good coming out of defensive 50. And it's a well-weighted kick that finds Sherwin from Ling. Sherwin with it just back of the wing, comes laterally to Pritchard, and he's got it near the boundary line in front of a good crowd underneath the pavilion here at McDonald Reserve. Pritchard, he'll concede back, and he went to Sherwin. It didn't go 15 according to the umpire, so he loops a handball over the top to McMahon, who was about to be shut down by Dillon, but he got a release to Jasker. Jasker found himself in trouble. Handball on the bounce, got to Sherman. Sherman at the back of the cricket wickets. He goes laterally, heard a voice. Chalcraft will pick it up on about the third bounce. Time to come back inboard. They're just toying with them at the moment. St Mary's holding the footy, and Walters has got it in the middle of McDonald Reserve.
He drives it long towards half forward on a long lead. Nick Knott, good kick, good mark. Diving mark, outside 50. Thought about the handball running pass was Benson. He just holds it up now. So drive it long. He goes to the pocket. The lead's on. Well, he's kicked it into the Josh Conway cricket nets, and very lucky not to put it out of bounds on the full. Probably a better result for St Mary's. It's just travelled across the line. So a throw in. About 30 around from their goal. They lead by 5 points. And throw in now, not from behind. Davis got it down. Madigan pushed off, free kick, hold, said the umpire, and it's going to come back. And it's going to be to the big fella, I think, Luke Davis. Once the football comes back in the ruck contest. So in the back pocket, the big fella will take the free kick.
Nearly goes 15 to Noble. Kirsch, question with a little bit of notice. Tell us how South Barwon win this game. Noble will send the kick towards the outer wing to a one-on-one. Front position, Caldo spoiled by Jasker. Knocked towards Keast. came back towards Caldo, who's wrapped up in a two-man tackle as we go to Matt Kershaw in the experts chair.
Their pressure around the ball's okay. They've just got to use the ball a little bit better. See how we talked about St Mary's maintaining possession and just holding possession. South Barwon just need to get their hands on the pill and just maintain a bit of possession and play some tempo footy. Again, it's coming down to their forward entries and the easy rebounds. They just need to lock it in their forward half for a period of time and get some shots on goal and not waste opportunities.
Ball's out of bounds. Davis won the tap down. Sherman did the roving handball, missed the target, went out of play and just forward of the wing favouring St Mary's. We've got a boundary throw in, out of side. Belmont side of the ground, grabbed out of the ruck by Knott. He gave it to Orgarinos. Orgarinos pumps it long. Driver front position, had it spoiled from behind by Maishman. Spillage fell for Benson, slung in the tackle but released to Ling. Ling to the pocket. Oh, well done, Goff. He was in a one-on-one with Dowling and he positioned himself beautifully, stuck the backside out and took a good mark in that Geelong Insurance Brokers head-to-head.
He goes out wide with the kick, and it's good too. Finds Noble. It gets away from Benson. Goes with the kick inboard. This is what Kirsch was talking about, just controlling the football. They've got it now, and they go long. Caldo inside 50 with the long kick. Over the back, Bosley. Pritchard's there as well. Carmody, can he run away? Uses some speed. Handballs it back towards Dillon. His handball. Noble folded up, wrapped up though. Good play. And the umpire has said holding the ball. And Keast will take the free kick in the last line of defence.
He was out there, Lockie Noble, and Keast just shut him down. He gobbled him up like Pac-Man. Right back pocket, Keast with the footy. Goes short, and he finds Benson, who's racked him up this afternoon. He's had some sort of game again, and you would expect nothing less. He is an absolute star. The number 9 for St Mary's, right back pocket. A high kick that will flirt with the boundary line and in fact go out of bounds on the full, and it'll be a free kick to Duray, who's got it just back of the wing. Far side of the ground, Colac Road side with the footy. And he's not sure what to do, Duray, so now he just tucks it under the arm and he sends it long and he wants a lead from Caldo, who stretches and marks and takes a nice grab.
It's this next kick, Kingy, that we've been talking about.
Gives it away to Madigan by hand. He goes long towards Bosley. It goes up, punched away front and centre from Noble. Goes towards goal as it runs through. Oh, it's hit the post. So Lockie Noble where he needed to be, front and centre. And he has just hit the right-hand goalpost. 5-7-37 the Swans, the Saints 5-11-41.
Really the first time we've seen that front and centre we were talking about.
Ling short kick in, marked by Orgarinos. Orgarinos laterally into the back pocket to Sherman. Sherman loops a handball back to Orgarinos. He'll kick on his non-preferred left and turn it over. Wasn't really a smart play from Orgarinos running onto his non-preferred side. And he's mishit the kick and kicked it to O'Neill for South Barwon. O'Neill sends it long. What's he got along the line? He wanted Ollie Lee. He was knocked off the footy. Diving on it is Benson, I think. And he, like a rugby scrum, there's Orgarinos underneath all that too, I think. No, it's Sherman. And we'll get a ball up right forward pocket. South Barwon in attack. They trail by 4. Entertaining contest, absorbing here. As the tap down one by Conway. James will track it towards the boundary line. Not a lot of room to move. And his kick is very high. It's very wide and it's not very handsome. And the free kick will be taken by Benson in the left back pocket. And once again, St Mary's hold tough down in defence.
So Benson plays on. Drives it long towards centre wing. Sets it up. Davis. Conway from 3 back. Ball spills free. Maishman gets wrapped up by 3 Swans players. The umpire says held to him. And we'll have a ball up. Madigan was in there putting the tackle on, as was Hogan as well.
Collingwood 100, lead Gold Coast 69. Leopold Sporties around the grounds.
Centre wing. Madigan over the top of it. Tries to pick it up. Can't do so. Comes out the back of the rugby scrum. Conway, handball, hold, said the umpire, play on advantage. So they run free. Semmons, left foot kick, inside 50. Good mark again, Ling. Stands his ground, takes the mark at half-back for the Saints. He goes lateral, close to the boundary line. And mark taken. Pritchard back inboard. Damien Ryan just settles the play down for the Saints.
Been busy this afternoon, McMahon. He takes off across the face of his defensive goal and kicks with a well-weighted ball to McMullen. McMullen goes short to Chelcraft. Chelcraft's got it at right half-back. You can share it by hand with McMahon, who kept running. He's just an absolute machine on either wing. He brings it inboard. Blood goes with the one hand. Couldn't complete the mark. Driver head over it. Did okay. Got it up to Madigan. Madigan slung in the tackle. Handball was indiscriminate. Jack Walters cleans up for St Mary's. Handball back to Sherman. Back edge of the centre wicket table. Gave it to Benson, who's just kept working all afternoon. Rolling ball. Pritchard on the right side for a left footer. Pulls a kick back, looking for big Conway. Front of the pack was Hogan, knocked it down to Madigan, gave it to Davis. Davis tries to loop a handball over the top, taken well there by Conway, rode the tackle, and then just sort of dropped it down to the front for a teammate. Might be Walters, who's dragged down to ground, and we'll get a ball up. So true centre wing, maybe just slightly forward of that as Walters gets to his feet with the assistance of James, and we'll get a ball up.
So contest, side of the pack, Salmons wrapped up by McMahon. Umpire come in, do a bit more work on centre wing.
Dandenong 33 lead the Geelong Falcons 9 in their NAB League clash in Bendigo for Leopold Sporties.
So from the contest, James tried to break free, rugby scrum style, and third ball up on centre wing. Big pack around it, Conway and Davis. Conway gets it down. Benson tried to take it with him, couldn't do so. Mulroney over the top of it as well, close to the boundary line. McMahon worries him out of it. Madigan's handball back towards Benson. He just got out of it and got the handball away somehow. Close to the boundary line and out of bounds now for a throw-in. So right in front of the best seats in the house, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. It's 5:11:41 St Mary's, South Barwon 5:7:37. And we played 15 minutes, Port Phillip Ferry's time clock in this final term.
Davis and Conway to go at it. I did say 7 goals might win the contest, Kirsch. 6 might win it. 5 might win it. 5 apiece. Conway from the ruck contest lost it, and he's been pinged for holding the footy just as he was about to kick it away. Davis a handball off quickly to Simmons. Simmons gives it to James. They're at right half back. James now runs towards the wing, driving it long. Wants Bosley on a lead, couldn't mark. Front of the pack. Caldo stepped through a tackle and then was dragged to ground by Shergwin. Ball spilled. Lee handball up, then he tried to knock it away. Dylan was there, but he couldn't take it cleanly. Little kick out of the pack by Dylan. Rolling ball, and he was able to get it through, and they take back the lead, South Barwon. Ryan Dillon, the unlikely hero there. The ball stayed alive. Dillon stayed alive, and he was able to jam it on the boot and get it out, get it through from 15 metres out. 6-7-43 South Barwon, St Mary's 5-11-41 final term. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
It was actually good work by their bigs then. It was Lee, Caldo, Bosley, kept the ball in dispute, put some pressure on there and locked it in and just kept that frantic ball going forward. Then Dylan done the rest. But, you know, that's where they need to get some pressure around the fall of the ball, and it was the bigs that chipped in then and did the work.
So back to the middle. Davis, a free kick, Shepherd. Davis. Ooh. Really?
I've got to be honest with you. I didn't understand that.
That's just 2 ruckmen jumping at the ball,
isn't it?
So Davis gets the free kick and gets it long. Caldo off the side of the pack. And they've got the numbers, the Saints. Churgwin with a clearing kick out very wide. Maishman out there. And also White. They can't keep it in. And we'll have a
just a point, Jace, on the lack of personnel on the bench of South Barwon. They actually look fitness-wise okay. No players have come off cramping or in agony or anything, so they look reasonably okay at the moment.
It's an amazing effort after a 6-day break. The ball back inboard for South Barwon. Pritchard, Carmody against him, under pressure, gives it back to Ling. Had to ride a bump, he did so, got around, outside of the right boot, got the kick towards half back, but away again from Big Davis. And it will be another boundary throw in on the outer side.
I can tell you one thing, their intensity hasn't stopped and their running hasn't stopped, South Barwon, so full credit to them.
5-11-41, 6-7-43. It's South Barwon by 2 points. 17.5 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Rayner did the roving from the ruck contest. A high kick, one-on-one. Maishman and White. White got a little boot on it in mid-air, and it landed for Madigan, who gave it up to James. James gives it up by hand to Duray. Duray pumps a kick towards left half forward. Oh, wonderful mark. Back with the flight. Shergwin with the pack encroaching on him. He went back, just watched the footy, and then he sends his team wide to Blood. Blood can give it off by hand to a runner. It's Keese now with a right foot kick, and it's a well-weighted ball too. Onto the chest of Travellini. Travellini, it was rather Walters. Travellini now onto the chest of Lang. Lang was called to play on, was he? He is now. And now he's going to kick on his left boot straight into the arms of Hogan. Deflects back to Lang, who gives it to Travellini. Travellini pulls the trigger on the kick. Oh, he's just missed to the left. The margin is 1. As we approach time on in this final term, South Barwon 6-7-43, St Mary's 5-12-42, 18.5 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock.
Ball into the back pocket for Sexton, who's taken the mark. Drives along the line. Caldo up against Jasker. Off the back. Ling sent over the boundary line by Noble. right in front of the best seats in the house, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. We'll have a throw in. Not. And Davis.
Anybody for a draw?
Oof. Well, point the difference. South Barwon in the ascendancy at the moment. Davis in front. Roved by Noble. Up the chimney. Caldo comes, punched away. Keast in the middle, doesn't sit for him. Coming the other way was McMahon. He's wrapped up, drops the football in the tackle. The umpire says yes. South Barwon with the free kick. And here's the road runner. Scott's got it. Kicks with it outside of the right boot towards Noble, who's had a good final term. He drives it towards centre half forward, towards the half forward flank. Missed the target. Carmody not very happy. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Right half forward. Swans into attack.
Siddle's leading pattern was just off, wasn't it?
Just a little bit, yeah. Just a little bit too, probably, I guess, wide for that scenario.
Hasn't really had an influence this afternoon, James Siddle, on the contest.
But you can have a moment, and this could be a moment he could get involved in. He's around the stoppage. He's looking dangerous.
We're about to tick into time on. 20 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Lee will do the ruck work against Knott. Right forward pocket. Lee front position. The ball's allowed to hit the ground. Lee comes out the loose footy. He dives on the ball. He dives on it with Connors. It's going nowhere. Umpire says, give it to me. Also there, laying a tackle was Dillon for South Barwon. Swans in attack. They lead by 1. Will the goal deliver the knockout blow? Tap down, Knott. Noble was there ready to pounce on the loose footy. He did in the end. He was wrapped up by Keith. Ball bobbling towards the boundary line. Chance now for James, tight against the boundary line. He snaps to kick now. Best case scenario is that he swung the ball out of bounds before he put it on his boot, but I think he might have put it out of bounds on the full, did he?
He actually called out of bounds first, and then he's called out on the
And the
full.
South Barwon players picked up on that straight away, Kirsch. They all said he stepped out before he kicked it, but it's gone the other way.
No, it's gone the other way. It's going to be a free kick in the left back pocket, and it's Sherwin with the footy, driving it towards half back.
He goes long, big punch away by Goff, goes to the side of the pack, and Mulroney can't keep it in. He's pushed into the large crowd here at McDonald Reserve this afternoon. Madigan just back on the ground as well. They're going to need him in the final few minutes around the stoppages.
They've thrown Dowling into the stoppages, boys.
They have
the first time
yes,
today.
He's right there, right next to the hip of Nick Knott. And here with the ruck contest, Davis pushed Knott under it. Comes back, Dowling through the middle, couldn't take it. Lee comes the other way, wrapped up, ball spills free. Maishman, handball towards Benson, shuffled the handball beautifully. They got it to Sherman on the half volley, back to Blood. The key players for the Saints go towards Augurinas, who gets it, picks it up on the half volley. He's 65 from goal. Oh, he saw Paddy Dowling out of the corner of his eye, if you don't mind. He has turned that around. That was unbelievable. He didn't kick it over his head.
Now, when Dowling took that unbelievable mark earlier on, it was Max Augurinos' cleverness to kick the ball to him, but that is something else.
That was amazing, and he has got Paddy Dowling 45 out from goal. He kicked 2 this afternoon in this to give the lead back to St Mary's.
This to win the game, Jace.
This to win the game, Kirsch says. Paddy Dowling, 45 out, 45-degree angle, right in front of the best seats in the house, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Left foot kick. He knew it straight away. He kicked it. He's kicked the goal. 3 for him this afternoon, Paddy Dowling. And the Saints with the lead again, 6-12-48. They lead South Barwon 6-7-43. APCO Cafe 24/7. Final quarter K-Rock scoreboard.
Not on Goff, might I add, because obviously he's gone into the midfield, Dowling. So some midfielder's got to take responsibility for Dowling now. He's in the midfield, and obviously he rolled the dice. He rolled the dice and went forward to the pill. So, and I guess when you're a point down with couple of minutes left, you've got to roll the dice and try and win the game of footy, and that's what he did. If it wasn't for Max Augurinos' vision, which he's played a lot of AFL footy, Max, so it's an elite vision.
Dowling's in the middle again for Wombat Gully Plant Farm. Umpire tosses it into the air. Davis and not again. Davis grabbed it out of the air for South Barwon and then barrelled it forward. It's a floating ball. Sherwin, he's been really good down back this afternoon, Darcy Sherwin. Now he's called to play on. A handball over the top. He gets it back from Dowling, then he kicks towards right half forward. Attacking it, Hogan for the Swans. Head over it, Driver got one high from Lang. Lang not happy with the decision. Driver quickly wants to get on with it. Handball off to Madigan, confronted. And then out the corner of his eye just saw something he liked, and it was White, who reefs a handball forward to James. Is this last roll of the dice stuff for the Swans? Outside of the right boot. Kicks looking for Lee, who go back with the flight. Might be paid the mark he is. It was either that or front on contact. And it'll be Lee with the free kick. This might be the last chance. Handball off. Siddle pulling the kick. Wants Bosley in a one-on-one. Couldn't mark off the hands of the pack. Blood was good. Handball released back. And then a little kick out of trouble from Keast was okay for McMahon. He showed a lot of it to Siddle, but McMahon was able to mark on the chest and hold things up for the Saints in the right back pocket.
Yeah, so just holding the play up now. McMahon wants to go down the line. Drives it as far as he can towards centre wing. Big pack there, Lang. Oh, Falcon in the end. Ball spilt free, Lee. Oh, wrapped up without it. Dowling put the tackle on. And Lee will take the free kick. He wants to get it moving quickly, and they do so. Go towards half forward. Bad kick, though. Punched away. Knott's got some support. Benson, handball. Missed Keast as a target. Had to take the bump. That's high as well. And he should take the free kick, Matt Keast, back into the centre square at centre half back.
Keast just taking his time. Might have a little bit of cramp. Now he's going to concede about 20 metres to McMahon, Damien. Damien goes back into the right back pocket to kick on the bounce to Sherman. Sherman can go all the way back to his defensive goal square. And he finds McMullen. McMullen across the face of his defensive goal, and they'll come out to Jasker. Oh, that was late, and that'll be 50 against Kelly O'Neill, who's given him. And now it's on a push and shove. Kelly O'Neill's been beset upon by unhappy St Mary's players after his little ear massage on Josh Jasker, and it's a 50-metre penalty, so they might as well just take the 50 and take their time. The push and shove continues in the background. I don't think there was too much in it other than it being late.
That was a 50. That was it.
And we move on. Gee, wasn't much of a 50. Wow. And then Jasker can go short. Oh, McMahon, he showed a bit of it to Sexton, but McMahon has marked. That's Damien with it just back of the wing, and St Mary's are happy to control the tempo with a 5-point lead at the 25.5-minute mark.
Goes short to Matt Keast, who goes along the line. Pritchard takes it.
He's got a man up here, South Barwon.
At centre wing.
Chance to get the ball back.
So goes backwards to Churgwin.
The South Barwon bench, the St Mary's bench, are just yelling to keep going forward. They're not liking this chipping play so much, going backwards.
So McMahon gets the ball short. Ling just holds it up. You can just see it's going to turn over here at some stage if they're not careful. They go long towards Knott. Davis comes in, big thump away, falls towards Benson. He needs some help, and a good tackle from Madigan. The umpire will come in and ball up centre wing. 6:12:48, St Mary's, South Barwon 6:7:43, and we have played 26 minutes, final term, Port Phillip Ferry's time clock.
There was 3 goals in the third quarter and we went 26.5. There's been 3 goals in the last. We've gone nearly 26.5, and there's a free kick for a hole going to South Barwon, and this might be it. So White with the free kick for being held by Benson. He's got it just back of the wing. Broadcast side. Handball to Mulroney, who wasn't expecting it, and he's dumped over the boundary line, and that's holding the ball.
Decision making, that was absolutely poor.
It was a great tackle laid by Big Knott. That's fantastic work by the ruckman late in the game for a ruckman to be able to produce that, and maybe have just saved the game for St Mary's. Kicks to the wing, and it's going to land on the chest of Lang as Davis couldn't get to the contest. Augurinos got in his way, and then Augurinos lets him go and know all about it, and Tommy Lang's been just told to settle it down by the bench, and that's what he'll do. Now he's getting the hurry up. Umpire calls him to play on. He sends it inside forward 50. Dowling to set himself. Front position off the hands of the pack. Goff claiming the mark. Goff paid the mark. And this now really is last roll of the dice stuff. James wanted it on the outside. He'll go into the corridor, and it's a well-weighted kick. And it was well-weighted to Hogan, and they're away to Madigan.
Gets it to Madigan now. Left foot kick out wide towards centre wing. Carmody can't take the mark, gets wrapped up, needs to get away. McMullen got the tackle on, he dropped the football. The umpire said play on. Now Hansen up towards Blood. Right foot kick, just wants to get it back. Goff, who's been immense, has taken the mark and wants to play on quickly. Got to drive it. Goes towards the middle of the ground. Mulroney off the side of the pack. It's a 50-50 in the middle. Somebody's been pushed off the ball at South Barwon. O'Neill. So that's probably the payback from Blood for the one before.
Well, it wasn't. The umpires called it high.
No, it wasn't.
So he gives it to Madigan by hand. Madigan now, left foot kick, inside 50. Goes towards the lead of Lee. Was it a push? The umpire said no. Bosley's there. Siren! St Mary's hang on. 6:12:48.